Hello and welcome to Season 1, Episode 2 of Blood on the Tamesis, a Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle set in Oxfordshire, England, 2001. With me tonight,
Philip playing Silas Shaw of Clanbrugh.
Bex playing Velvet Riley of Clan Veteran.
Lane playing Joanne Salt, Clan Corridor.
And Carlos playing Theodore Penn of Clan Veteran.
So we'll be doing a recap shortly, but before we do, I just want to say, for those of you who've been watching us for a while, that the Dylan is currently on our tech, and it's going to be the last time he's doing the tech for a little while. So if you are watching us live and in chat, please make a fuss of him. And while people are thinking about that, can I hand over to you for a recap?
So, we began the story as strangers, and as things stand now, we're only slightly less so. Joanne, Silas, Theodore, and Velvet found their way to their meeting place, each accompanied by their sire. After introductions were made, it was revealed that a fair few of the sires knew each other, and in fact were a part of the same coterie, much as we expected to be one now. Isabel ran over some basics of Oxfordshire and the laws we are expected to abide by, before setting up a meeting with a gatekeeper. A week passed and we met Sally, the last member of the Sire's coterie, the one without a child. She took us to Sir Hulda, the South Gatekeeper, who gave us an assignment to find and bring back Dustborn for branding. As we made our leave, it didn't go unnoticed that Velvet would not bow. We reached the Dustborn house. Theodore got scary with a gun, and as Joanne's powers started to manifest, she heard a figure escaping from the top floor. The man landed poorly on the back garden, where Velvet was keeping a lookout.
Okay, so it is Saturday the 13th of October 2001, and the Coterie are currently in Wantage in Oxfordshire, or as I should probably call it, World of Darkness Wantage, which is probably a lot worse than the real Wantage. And we are playing with some of the Onyx Path Chicago by Night rules for homesteading. So in this version of events, Wantage and where the Coterie are is a dark and forbidding place where the lights don't work properly and things are a bit miserable. And so everything is more shadowy than it might be, and stealth is easier and seeing things is harder. And the Coterie had just started to get themselves in an interesting set of predicaments. So Theodore was standing by the main door with a young girl, teenage girl, who's frightened out of her mind, who has recently texted her friends to tell them to come out and join you. Joanne is standing a little way away in the street, and she is taking the benefit of some of the powers of the blood to monitor the goings on inside the house. Velvet is at the back, behind the garden in a little pathway, pretending to look like a drunkard, and has recently come face to face with someone who has leapt out of a window. And Silas has made his way in through the front door, down the into the hallway, and can hear a huge number of different things going on. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with Silas, and then you can decide what you want to do. So you are in a hallway. The carpet has a pattern on it that is kind of faded and hard now to recognise, and has sort of moved into a vaguely textured beige kind of thing. There is light in the hallway, but the light on the stairs isn't very good. And there is dim light coming from some rooms to either side of the hallway. You can see stairs ahead of you, and like a hall that goes past the stairs. At the end of the hall, you can see what looks like a kitchen, where there is no light on currently at all. To your right, there is a door that is shut. To your left, there is a door that is open. You think you can hear a dog on the other side of the shut door. You can also hear music coming from that room that sounds like Rage Against the Machine. You can also hear people. Around this time, not only do you hear people in the room to your right, and you think people in the room to your left, you also hear what sounds like breaking glass upstairs. what would you like to do?
Breaking glass upstairs. Do I know that that's towards the back of the building?
Yeah, we'll be towards the back.
Right, that's one escaping. I hope that one. And then I'm going to go into the going to go left into the open.
Into the open room. All right. So as you step into that room, you will see what looks like a couch. There is a single lamp illuminating the room, not very well. Sitting on the couch is a man and a woman who both look to be not unconscious, but not very conscious either. Both of them are pale and quite skinny. You can see that they both look probably in their late 20s. And they're very casually dressed, kind of t-shirts and faded jeans. And they are holding hands, you will notice. You will also notice that there is a man in the room with them. And he also looks pale and slender. And he has quite messy looking brown hair. And he also looks of a similar age to them. He is currently in the process of standing up from the sofa as you enter the room. What are you going to do? Actually, can you give me a very quick wits and awareness roll?
One.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's hard to see. Light's not good in Wantage.
Yeah. We were given we were informed of 3 names, which I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure Silas would remember.
For Silas, it is literally about 60 seconds ago.
Yeah.
So the name
Simon, Cindy, and Norman.
Yeah, Simon, Cindy, and Norman are the names that you've been given. What does Silas do?
Simon, Norman.
So the man who is standing up does react to Norman, and he says, "Well, who are you? Who are you?"
You are Norman.
He takes a step back from the sofa, so he's moving kind of back towards the wall. He says, "Yeah, who are you?"
I need you to stay here. Where are Simon and Cindy?
Are you a police officer?
Not as such.
He says, then...
For your safety, need you, Simon and Cindy, come with me.
Well, he says, Simon and Cindy are having a nap right now. And glances towards the sofa.
I did try and insight that. Does...
You want to try and insight him? Okay, go for it.
2.
Okay.
That's more than 2 dice.
You think that he is quite... You think that he is someone who... He seems very suspicious of you, and that's about all you can tell, given this little bit of conversation and...
Alright, so there's a moment, and I kind of pull from behind my back the knife that Theo gave me. I need you to come with me, quietly.
He says, sure. And he says, no need to do anything violent. He keeps his hands up and he'll walk very slowly around the couch. And he'll get to you in the doorway, and I'll come back to you in a moment. Meanwhile, at the back of the house, Velvet, you are in this pathway between the 2 gardens.
Yep.
Cute chase music.
It's hard to make them out well, but you can see a figure has landed in the garden.
Yep.
And you said the last thing in the end of the last session was that you were going to make eye contact with them, which you do. They've landed in this crouch. They've looked up in your direction.
Yep.
What are you planning to do?
So the first thing I want to do is take my phone out, press redial, see who was the last person who called me.
Sure.
Then I was going to go with all to just stop him from running away.
And what are you doing to do that?
So I need to speak to him, I think.
You need to do something.
Okay. So I will I've got his attention, so I'll say, hey, where are you going in such a hurry?
Okay. So as you step forward and you make eye contact, you feel the blood inside you begin to kind of surge. You don't get hungrier, but in that, Wallace has taught you often about trying to hold people's attention and impose your will upon theirs. You've never been that great at doing it. He's not been pleased with your efforts.
Shock.
This is not quite like that. It is not like you just fix him with your power. It is like your need to get their attention, your need to have them notice you becomes a greater thing that seems to radiate from you. So when you make this charisma and persuasion roll, you can add 3 dice to your pool.
Ooh, thank you. Right, charisma.
Let me roll my dice. in
Persuasion.
response.
3.
Big bull. I think there's a crit win.
I can't read this. Like, so.
So happy
Let's go
critical.
with 8 successes.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8 successes. Happy critical.
Okay.
Thanks. Thanks.
You're welcome.
So, although it is poorly lit and dark, your words and the message contained in your eyes seems to stop them in their tracks. Where they glanced at you, but they were poising to sprint off.
Okay, yeah.
But they don't sprint off. What they do is they stand up and they rush towards you.
Shit.
They quite athletically vault the small fence at this back garden, so that because you're obviously
Okay, yes, yeah.
and they come to you and you realise as they get closer that it is a woman. Looks quite a young woman. She's got you can't tell the colour in the nightlight, but dreadlocks and is wearing quite kind of baggy clothes. But she grabs you by the arms, not violently, and says, "We have to get out of here. It's not safe."
I was not expecting this. I will say, no, it's all right. We can stay here. We don't have to go. It's better if we stay. I promise you. No harm is going to come to you.
No, it will. Look, if they find me here, I'm done. We have to go. These people, they're capable of anything. Please, I don't want you to get hurt. We've got to go.
I'm not going to get hurt. I'm fine. And you're going to be fine. I promise you. I promise you nothing is going to happen to you. Why don't we just stay here and talk for a little while?
She leans closer to you and she says, you know who I'm talking about?
Sure I do.
You can stop them from killing me.
Sure, they're good guys. They'll listen to reason.
It's not my first time.
Well, we can talk about that, but you know what? We aren't going to talk about it if we're running. So we're best off staying on here, and then you can make your case.
I have to go.
You can't go. You can't go. I need you to stay.
Will you protect me?
Of course I will.
All right.
I need you to stay.
All right. They look nervously back towards the house.
Okay.
So, Theodore, you're standing in the door. You will see Silas turn left in the hallway and disappear outside. And a moment later, someone will come out of the kitchen, walk down the hall past that room towards the door where you're standing. He looks to be a teenager, male. You will notice that it looks like he's got he's wearing a t-shirt. It looks like he's got a bandage on his upper arm. But he's wearing what look like quite kind of worn-in clothes that maybe could do with a wash.
And he's walking
towards the front door.
Towards the front door. I just take a step slightly away, grab the girl by the arm, pull her close to me. Who's got a bandage on their arm?
She says, "That's Jack.
Who's Jack?
He's my friend I just texted. He told me to text my friend."
What's your name?
You asking her name?
Yeah.
She says, "Kimmy."
Where do you live, Kimmy? And don't lie to me.
She's about three streets and in Sopwell Road. From here, it's not far. So at this point, he arrives. So you're holding her in a, shall we say, not fatherly manner.
Yeah. And the moment he arrives, good evening, Jack. Step aside, we need to talk.
Okay, so you no longer have a Silas assist.
No, but I have
Or-
oh, you 9mm.
You're making your gun.
Like, step aside, we need to talk.
So essentially, your gun is in the light
Yeah.
from the thing, but your face is, and your silhouette is kind of in shadow. I'm gonna ask you to roll because I know you were sad you didn't get to roll your pool. Can you add 3 dice to your pool for circumstantial bonuses?
Gonna reroll because that was crap. Absolutely.
Spend that willpower.
Yes,
Make
I will.
storytellers everywhere
But I
happy.
will at least have 4 successes. No. 3 successes.
Okay.
It's sad. It's a sad roll. It's the saddest roll ever.
Considering how many dice you threw into that
Yeah.
tray, that's sad.
So you effectively you social combat him. You say that you make your statement, your intimidating piece, and he pauses, but he doesn't immediately go where you say. You can see him shaking. You can see he is shaken up. However, he is not. You've tied in your roll. You've tied in your roll. So he stands his ground, and looks to her, looks to you, and he looks like he's caught between doing what you're asking and running for it. So I would like. Well, are you going to maintain this stance? You're going to
Yes.
change your tactic.
No, I'm gonna
So what are you going to do?
move 1 inch. Open your mouth. She gets a bullet between the eyes. And then you follow.
Okay, let's go again.
I assume I no longer have the bonus.
You still have the bonus. You still have a gun. And it is still England. And you still look scary.
Ooh, that's 5 successes. 6, sorry.
Yeah.
And you
successes.
wanted him basically to move outside with you.
Yeah. The 3 of us standing right outside the front door,
Yeah.
having a chat.
Yeah, he comes and joins you. And like looks down at the floor and looks like he looks terrified. She also looks terrified, but neither of them say anything, neither of them move, neither of them do anything.
Describe quickly Simon, Cindy, and Norman. And make them distinctive. I'm gonna start shooting people inside. I don't want to shoot any of your friends.
Jack says, Cindy's got a bit of a horse face. Simon's horse face.
Yes,
Simon's got a big nose, and Norman smells. He's got
Hair colors.
brown for Norman, and sort of mousy blonde for Cindy, and kind of lighter brown for Simon.
Okay. What are they wearing?
So he'll start describing their outfits.
Cool.
And I'll come back to you in a moment, because as you're finishing that description, you will see Silas coming out into the hallway with what looks very much like Norman.
I look at the girl and say, I know where you live. Nothing happened tonight. You don't open your mouth. You live the rest of your life happy. Now go. Both of you, go.
They run away. So you are bringing Norman towards the front.
Yep.
You are at the back
Yep.
with this other person. Joanne, you are out currently watching from outside the house. You can see the 2 people running off. Well, they do that thing, where they start walking, few steps,
The British
and they as soon as they're like a safe-ish distance away, they pelt it out of sight.
Have I managed to phone him? Sorry.
Sorry, yes, I'll come to that phone call in a moment. So, Joanne, is there anything you wish to be doing whilst you're standing there?
I don't think so. I'm just keeping the watch, and because I overheard Theo saying, "I'm just gonna fucking shoot everyone," and I'd be like,
Okay. you pull
I
a
haven't pulled the trigger yet, so.
Yet.
you pull a sort of oh god kind of thing. But no one seems to be around to witness it at the moment. So your phone will go at the point that Silas is walking.
Yeah, the kids are running and I just turn around, check the phone.
So the phone, well, you'll recognise it's from Velvet.
Yes.
So I'm not talking. I'm intending to open a line so that he can hear my interaction with this person.
Okay.
So he just knows that something is happening.
So you can hear an open phone line, but currently it is quiet on the other side of the phone. So whilst you're listening, Silas, you have Norman in front of you.
I wave at Norman.
Oh, his eyes widen. In shock.
Yeah, he's like making gestures
The
so he walks to
door
the back.
opens behind you, Silas,
Okay.
and immediately the sound of loud barking can be heard as something comes rushing out of the door.
Poor dog.
Now, between you and the dog is Norman and Silas.
Yep.
Oh,
I've been kind of Norman walk in front of me. So
yeah, you are currently between Norman and the dog.
is it most definitely coming at me within?
Are you turning around?
Yes, I am turning around.
So you spin around, the door is open, there is a large Alsatian, and it's currently making for you with murderous intent. It is barking.
I keep an eye on Norman.
I have a large knife.
Like whatever he does.
Okay, so you are whirling around with your knife. The dog is going to jump at you, so I want to know what you're doing immediately.
The knife's gonna go into it.
So you are going to do our first act of animal cruelty.
Yes.
On the Tamesis. All right.
I mean, it kind of.
So you get this kind of row, 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 and then the dog jumps.
Yeah, Silas is panicking. 5.
So the dog jumps onto you. It doesn't knock you over, but it's trying to bite at you. It's trying to push you down. But you manage to hold your ground and you stab it a couple of times with the knife. So that is a margin of 2 plus 1. So we're talking about 3 aggravated, I believe.
What is Norman doing?
Norman at this point looks like he wants to. He's stuck between a dog and a hard place. So he doesn't. He just says he's just like, don't do it. Don't shoot. Okay, just don't shoot.
Call it off.
I
assume that's his dog. Call it off.
So he shouts back down the hall as these two. I mean, you can see this dog biting and stuff, and Silas is like knife handing back and forth. He shouts, "Marissa, call him off!"
Who the hell is Marissa?
Well, the dog came out of a room where the music is coming from, so you assume there may be other people in there. You think you catch a glimpse of someone that might be Marissa as she steps out into the hallway and legs it towards the kitchen at high speed.
Shoot her on the leg.
To shoot her in the leg, you will need to shoot through a hallway full of past Norman, Silas, and the dog. You can try, but
Yes, I do it.
okay. You are going to shoot at her.
Okay, great dog on me. Give me a minute.
So this is, I'm going to obviously raise the difficulty because she has cover of
Yep.
lots of people.
Yep.
Okay, you're going to shoot at them.
Wait.
Can you make a resolve and...
I knew this was coming. Yep.
You know the one. Yeah.
And
I don't know which one it is. I know I was coming to have one.
And that is
It's resolve and what was it?
4,
Sorry.
5, 6, 7 successes.
Oh, resolve
Critical win.
and
Okay.
Fuck.
was it resolve and something?
Yes.
For her.
Yeah,
resolve and
it's an
something.
all specs reflexive.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, when-
you look it up
when I
and then you roll
go
it, and then
boom,
we'll
boom, you
remind
go
people
out.
at home what it is. All right, so a number of things all happen at once. You are fighting with a dog.
Yeah.
There is shouting about calling it off and stuff. You catch, because obviously you're facing this way, you catch Marissa running for the kitchen. you will hear the loud retort of a gun shot that probably makes you jump. Dog whines because it's quite loud for the dog to hear. Velvet, you will hear the gunshot from where you are. How do you respond?
So, what's the response of the woman with me?
She's like, she doesn't, she's still got your arms and she says, we have to go. And she looks like she wants to take you and get the hell out of here. But she's not forcing you, and neither is she leaving without you.
Okay, I will take her by the hand and walk towards the house through the back garden.
Towards the gunshot.
Yep, towards the garden, with her behind me. So, like, I'm leading her. But
Okay.
I'll be telling her, you know,
So-
don't worry, it'll be fine. Well, I know these guys. It's just a misfire.
2
or something.
successes.
So,
I know what's coming.
So Joanne, you are out there in the street, and this gunshot sounds, and it sounds like someone let it off right by your ear, and everything rings horribly. It's and
Power off.
yeah, you pull back your senses into yourself, but your ears are ringing. You feel slightly kind of dazed from the sensory input.
Yeah.
So Velvet, as you are walking back towards the house, you can feel her getting increasingly reluctant. Like, there's just been a gunshot. You are very, very compelling right now. But
I'm not that
nevertheless,
compelling.
someone has fired a gun, and she is
Okay.
obviously scared. And
Okay, well, in which if I think this is a point too far, then I will stop.
you think you'll be stretching it. You might be able to
Okay.
get away with it, but you'll be stretching it.
I will, in which case, I will stop short of going back into the garden or return to wherever we were, and then I'll focus my attention on keeping her calm.
Okay, so when you put your focus onto her, she
Yeah.
does calm, and she just seems
Can I
to
take
be
her by the
like,
face and look at her?
Yeah, she just seems to be lost in your eyes, but she is saying, you know, we have to run.
We don't
We
need
have to run.
We don't need to run. It's gonna be fine. I swear to you. There's nothing that you have to worry about here.
Can I finally listen to anything?
Hang on
need-
just a second. Back in the house. Bear in mind, you've got dogs barking. You've got
Boom.
you have fired a shot. Your shot goes past Norman, past Silas, past the dog, and hits who you imagine to be Marissa in the leg. And you got a significant margin and a crit win. You were aiming just to bring her down, weren't you?
Yeah. I don't want her running anywhere.
Oh wow. What's the damage on modifier on there? Okay.
I'm not trying to blow her leg off. I'm trying to
You tough shit.
Okay.
no, not run anymore.
So because your aim was not to kill and you got a crit win,
Yeah.
You basically do shoot her in the leg and she goes down like a sack of potatoes.
Oh, cool. I just glance away from the room, like if somebody else is gonna come out of the room,
Okay.
and waiting to see what.
So you're like monitoring the phone, glancing at the room. Meanwhile, Silas and the dog.
Stop it.
Well, this is still a big dog. You have definitely stabbed it a couple of times.
Yeah.
But it's now even more intent on murdering you than it was before. So you're kind of holding it at bay with one arm at the moment and just kind of stabbing at it with a knife, and it is just trying to get its teeth on you as best it can, but it hasn't yet succeeded. Man, this is the unluckiest dog ever.
I know.
It's going to spend willpower.
Oh dear.
As am I.
God.
So you can see it is a desperate struggle between man and beast going on in the hallway.
Oh shit!
That's a fucking dead dog.
Okay.
Yeah, I see. I'm
7 happy critical.
Okay. So there is a moment of snapping and business, and then Silas seems to have had enough of whatever is going on and just puts the knife up straight through the bottom of its jaw into its brain. It doesn't even whimper. It goes and then down. Okay. You have dealt with the dog. There is no more dog.
The knife.
You slip the knife away and you let it assumably fall to the floor.
Yep.
calling Norman.
Yeah, Norman approaches.
Sit there on the floor.
Well, like on the step or outside, yeah? He will do as
And
he's told.
I start step back. I'm not gonna let him out of my sight. Velvet.
I can speak to him.
You hear
Hello. Hello.
There's nothing different than what I've been hearing since I opened this channel, so I won't be. I just by usually I might remember I've got the phone in my hand. Then I'll pick the phone up.
Yeah.
Theo.
Oh.
I got a friend back here.
Whenever he speaks, you will hear static.
Oh, okay. I don't hear what he's saying.
No.
Okay, in which case, then I will just keep saying Theo until I realise I can't hear him.
Yeah.
Put the phone down. Yeah.
It cuts off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poor reception. So, Norman,
He nods. Yeah.
where are Cindy and Simon?
Hmm?
Where are Cindy and Simon?
They're inside on the couch. They're not. They're a bit out of it at the moment. But what is going on? What's this about?
We're looking for a couple of people. You live here, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna make this really easy for you. And I step into the light. I have not used Blush of Life
Okay.
tonight.
Okay.
You know who we are. You know what we are here for.
Oh shit. I'd heard stories. I mean I'd heard about you guys, but I didn't. I can help you. We can talk. We can deal. We can.
Who told you stories about us, Norman?
A friend of mine.
What's the name of your friend?
Katie.
Katie. Is she one of us?
Yeah. Yeah, one of us.
Oh, it's one of you.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not quite the same.
No,
are
we're
we?
not. Who else here is a Mercurian? Duskborn.
He looks at your gun. He looks back at Silas.
And I just kind of hold my and just let the blood drip off.
Okay, you're embracing the sinister. Yeah, you.
I basically at this point I gotta act like slasher movie villain just.
Is movies? I'm sorry.
You draw on a kind of history of watching, slasher films,
Gore
and
and
you do your
slasher.
best impression. Certainly, it seems to work on Norman, who does feel like he's starring in his own kind of movie of this nature. So he's looked at Theo, he's looked back at you.
Is Marisa one of you?
He says, "Yeah,
Theo. Mr. Shaw. The lady with the leg problem. Who else?
she's doing for someone who's just had their leg shot out from under them. She's doing a reasonably good job of trying to drag herself down the hall. However, she's not got very far."
Yeah, and just threw her bloody knife in front of the face.
Okay, yeah, she freezes. She freezes where she is.
Don't do anything stupid. Pick it up.
So, Joan, your hearing is still not great, but you've recovered enough now to do stuff, if you want to do stuff. You can see, obviously, Theo at the front. Can you just give me -1 dice awareness check for me?
Awareness,
Wits
and that's a -2 as well because of the.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
sensory.
So wits and awareness. Let's.
yeah. For those of
So
you watching at
-4.
home, Joanne had heightened senses active and got a bad shot from the gunshot, and now she's struggling a bit. Yeah, yeah. Just hunger.
1 success.
Okay. It's quite dark, as I say, out here, so you will notice that there is, across a few houses down, a couple of lights have come on. And people seem to be looking out the windows.
I call ring Theo then. I guess.
Okay.
Yes.
What the fuck was that gunshot?
One of them tried to get away, and I decided just to shoot
My hearing
the
hurts.
leg instead of shooting in the back. I'm sending someone to the van.
Lights are on. Further
Yes.
down the street. Fuck.
Open the van. We'll be there.
Alright, just...
I just hang up and put the... Stand up.
Fuck.
He stands up.
Walk with me. It's basically walk, like, cross the street into the van.
So you start walking towards the van. And you're doing the same? Are you opening the panel?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you open the panel up. Are you getting him into the back of the van, assumedly?
Yep.
Okay. So whilst you're doing that, what are you doing, Velvet?
I have no real idea that this is coming to a conclusion. So, I basically need to stay here until I hear from the others.
So the music is still playing from the house, but there is no longer any sounds of loud barking. Certainly no more gunshots.
Yeah, I mean, my expectation is if someone else was coming out this way, they would have come. But that's why I was trying to go back to the house via the garden. But if I can't do that...
You can, it's just that she's obviously very nervous of going back to the house.
I don't want to... it's difficult to judge that. So I'll stay where I am. Can I try phoning him again?
Of course you can. So your phone will ring, Theo.
Pick up.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah,
Can
you hear
I
him.
hear him?
Yeah, you hear him.
Hey, I got a friend back here. Pretty nervous, but kicking around okay. You want I should bring them around the front? Try bringing them through the house, but ain't gonna swing.
No. Bring it around the front. Tell her we're gonna take her somewhere safe.
Don't worry, she's amenable.
Everybody.
All right.
And I keep looking at Norman. Everybody's gonna be safe as long as they cooperate.
I'll be around just shortly.
Sure. Hang up the phone. Turn around to see if Silas is coming with Marisa.
What is Silas doing?
He's breaking Marissa.
Are you just bodily bringing her?
Yeah, he's kind of over the shoulder.
Yeah, okay, she doesn't fight you. So you will start bringing her in and assumedly putting her...
Yeah.
So, and now you, Velvet,
I'm
are
gonna
bringing...
take her by the hand and walk her around through the alleyway, back round through the front towards where they are.
Okay. She says, "You're sure about this?"
Yeah.
Because I can't again.
You don't gotta worry about it.
Okay.
I told you, you're not gonna get hurt.
Okay. So, pretty soon...
It's basically, whom else is a Thinblood?
What you're asking, who you asking?
Norman.
He says, well...
In that house.
Just us.
Just you, Marisa, whomever's coming around.
He says, Katie.
That's Katie.
Well, if it's one of us, that's the only other one here.
You said that she had talked to you about us.
I think she met some of you before, maybe. I've not.
Here in Oxfordshire?
Yeah, I think so. Look, look, you seem pretty. I didn't. Whatever it is, we can come to an. If you need compensation or something, like we can.
We're gonna take you somewhere. So you meet the lord and owner of this land. Basically, we have our turfs, so to speak.
Yeah.
And you are in someone's turf. Proper introductions need to be made.
Okay.
You've done this. Probably for kind. I mean, you're dealing with Dream, right?
Yeah.
Whatever the hell that is.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna be meeting you tonight. That's all this is.
So, that's all this is. You're not sure he believes you, but he's not doing anything at the moment now.
Yeah, but I made it like it's pretty much like if you're selling in someone's territory,
Yeah.
they will want to meet you, but they will look for you in this way. So
Yeah.
like this is what's gonna happen.
So
They're gonna come.
He's not exactly put at ease, let's put it that way. But you have talked to him and he's listened and he seems the more... Obviously, Marissa looks a bit dazed. You've put her in the back of the van, obviously.
Back of the van.
And I
assuming I can see her legs fucking blown out.
You can, but you know what?
not blown out.
You can see that it's a serious wound.
Yeah.
Give me a... Ooh, give me a wits and medicine.
Well, I'm kind of, although I'm kind of hold her over the shoulder,
You
I'm
practicing, doctor?
gently putting it down.
So Silas is carefully placing her in the van. She looks like she's currently in shock.
Yeah, no willpower.
Yes, that's what I like to see people burning through their willpower. It makes me happy. I encourage all of you to spend willpower whenever you get the chance.
You knocked this one. It was 2. Now it's 3.
3 successes.
Okay. I'll come back to you in a moment on that. So she's been put in the van, and you are bringing Katie. So just so you know, now that you've got them in a better lit environment, you can see that Marissa looks to be in her mid-20s, and she's got quite kind of short, messy hair and is quite spotty, but she is very pale and thin. Norman does smell a little bit now you've got him in a kind of enclosed space, and has quite messy kind of brown hair. He looks in his late 20s. And lastly, we've got Katie, who is the one with the dreadlocks, in her kind of early 20s. She looks the most nervous and seems to be looking towards Velvet a lot for reassurance.
Provide whatever reassurance I think she needs. If that means I'm touching her or put my arm around her or hold her hand, I will do any of those things.
Velvet is like the very kind of essence of a gentleman in the old sense of the word, helping someone who's slightly distressed. Who is going in the front or the back of the van?
I'm driving.
As I put it down, I'm going to go, the dog.
It's that dog. And I sit on the driver's seat like, I'll expect it back clean. Turn on the ignition, and when everybody's in, drive towards
you're getting in the driver's seat.
Yeah, because I'm going to
You
pick
will
her up.
suddenly notice that sitting next to you is Sally.
She never. Isabel never mentioned her surname, right?
She would have told you actually that it's Horrocks.
Horrocks.
Horrocks, yeah.
Horrocks.
I feel we could do that for like an hour. Horrocks.
Miss Horrocks.
She looks at you.
Turn on the ignition, and I drive the way we left Velvet, because she's going to be coming back round that way.
So, who's in the front? There's one more space in the front. Who is in the back of the van?
I'm in the back.
You're in the back?
Yeah,
in the back as well.
Yeah, I'm in the back as well.
Are you also in the back, Velvet? Or
I was intending to get in the back with her.
Right, so you three
Yeah,
are in the back.
I
So
picked
it's
them
just
up.
you and Sally. So
Yes.
Sally will be directing you back towards Sir Holder's place.
I'm
assumably.
providing
Yes.
whatever emergency first aids this woman.
So the thing that you
needs.
notice
It's
very
a clean
rapidly
wound. It's a clean
is that the wound already looks a little too good, considering that it was a recent gunshot wound. That's the thing that you notice. So you are applying it. There is
Yep.
bleeding. There is a problem there.
Emergency first aid. Take whatever she's like wearing. Take
yeah.
the strip off of it.
Yeah. Okay. It is trivial for you to do that. You stop the bleeding.
Is
but
anyone
you
else
don't-
injured?
It's a dog inside, but I think it's beyond the point of salvation.
As I'm very slowly and obviously just cleaning the knife. Not saying anything, but just slowly, obviously.
Okay. You are in roll, cleaning the knife. Norman is watching you clean the knife quite carefully. Katie is looking less and less reassured by the moment.
That's fine.
Okay.
Like, they're sitting down in the back somehow, right?
Yes.
And
So I'll just sit down next to her.
Okay.
As a
So-
driver. Oh, sorry.
I'm just going to place myself between her and the others.
Yeah.
So if this breaks, it breaks. But
Okay.
I'm going to make an effort.
We'll say, given the ludicrous strength of your successes earlier in your prep win, that you were able to hold her attention because you're focusing
Yes,
on
I'm
doing
talking
that.
to her directly.
Yeah,
So
that's
we can-
fine.
Yeah.
I've just asked everyone else in the car if anyone else is injured, like specifically to the 3 that have.
Yeah, they no one else is injured.
Right.
You probably will be a little way away where you will see a police car going the opposite way.
Miss Horrocks, did you see what transpired?
I saw enough.
Any comments on our performance? Areas of improvement? Your input would be greatly appreciated.
Guns draw attention.
Oh, yes, I know. But also, made things a lot easier.
I like how quick you were.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to seeing her face when we get back.
Oh. Thank you very much. It means a lot. Like, I let her know that it actually, like, someone on her level, as in my sire level, the praise means a lot. And I drive with a satisfied look in my face and my gun back in its holster.
So you drive. It's not very far from Wantage to get back to Sir Holder's domain. So you soon get back to the farmhouse. Assumedly you are taking your charges from the van, who are being very docile at the moment. They seem genuinely quite terrified by what's happened. They do not seem, they're looking around in this now quite open area that they're in. You get to the farmhouse. Sally will knock on the door again, that coded set of knocks. Again, the door is opened for you and you are admitted. By the time you get back, you will find that Marissa can walk, but she limps. But she can manage her own. She's not, she doesn't seem as badly affected as a mortal might be, although she is still in no state to run anywhere or do very much of anything. So Sally will go in, and assumedly they will all start to go in, and one by one will start to go in through the door. And you will, as you come through the door, I'm assuming randomly that Theo, you decided to push yourself forward.
Definitely.
And unless anyone else is trying to do that, you will be the first through.
Cool.
So again, you will come into this actually quite open, clean feeling space that looks quite grand and good for receiving kind of large groups. The moment, Joanne, you step inside, you feel a bit better. You've been to some horrible places lately.
And this place is clean.
And at least there's one person who knows how to look after their own home, And so they're all inside. Obviously, you come in and you will also see that.
Yep.
It's around this point that whatever hold you had on Katie breaks as she sees Sir Holder sitting opposite, and you didn't know she could get any paler, but she does in that moment. And you see that moment where she looks back over her shoulder to see, like, you and Silas about to come through the door. And that kind of slump, like that, there's just, So as you've gone through the door swings shut pretty much in your face, Silas. It's a fairly trivial matter for you to, because you're fairly quick, right? And it's just, but the door does go like bam, and if you weren't careful, someone else might have smacked them straight in the face, but you managed to catch it. But there's this little moment, right, where you think they did that on purpose. And it wasn't like Sir Holder did that on purpose. It was like the guy holding the door did that on purpose. And you feel within you the desire to, well, you can fill in the details, but to do something terribly, terribly violent to that man. I would like you to make a test against Fury Frenzy, please.
Oh, shit.
And you've got a knife in your
Am
hand.
I the man holding the door?
No.
Thank God. Okay.
No, the man who has a very big beard and no hair,
Is the
yes,
person who
yes,
opened
yes.
the door for us last time.
Yes.
who
Yes.
is...
It'll be
so-
willpower minus...
It's be willpower plus 2 for your humanity, minus 1 for your bane severity.
2?
Okay. So the good news for you, and for those who are checking in,
It's like you can succeed in a cause or something
is that
awful.
no. Provocation of this nature is difficulty 2.
Oh.
However,
I thought it was like 3 or
so
something.
what happens is this: you feel the anger build inside
I
you,
heard a however.
and you you kind of, there's a voice in your head that is like, okay, I've been taught enough to know that I'm in someone else's domain. They're very important. There are like these rules of the Camarilla. I probably shouldn't rip off this guy's head without at least a discussion, etc. But it's really hard to hold on to those thoughts because actually what you know in your heart is that this guy disrespected you and he is nothing. And you just want to tear him a new one, basically. You manage to stop yourself from losing it, but it takes you a little bit of time to stop the blood roaring and rushing in your ears. And controlling those urges takes a few moments. So you come into the room, the rest of you. Silas does not immediately follow. The door is shut. Some of you may not even realise he hasn't immediately came. The guy who had let you in will go up to Saholda's side. She whispers something in her ear. She again waves him off. But this time in a slightly different manner. You think, those of you who, so you, Joanne, certainly will pick up on that. You think he's checking like, should we do the thing? And she's going, yes, do the thing. He moves with a purposefulness he did not move with last time. So.
Sir, hold it. And I bow.
Okay. Anyone else making any welcomes or bows?
Am I in the room at this point now?
Not quite yet, I'll come to you.
I will make some sort of gesture of deference.
Is it a very kind of bare minimum?
Yeah.
Minimum effort?
Whatever I think is yeah.
Okay. You think Sally does something similar? Like a,
I sound like this woman. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna overlay it.
Joanne, you do it.
Curtsy
you do it.
again, no
Curtsy.
bow, but...
Okay. Saholda says, very swift. Efficiency and quickness is much appreciated. Around this point, the door opens up and you come inside.
Close the door.
Okay.
Bow.
Okay. She looks at the three that you have brought and makes a gesture towards the floor. So Katie pretty immediately drops to her knees, and you see then Norman and Marissa do the same. Although Marissa does so with some effort, it's painful for her to do so, but she does so. And Saholda closes her eyes for a moment and seems to take in a breath. You don't think she's actually breathing. And then seems to nod, opens her eyes, and then says, "You do not have the prince's permission to be here in Oxfordshire. Do you understand that you have broken the laws of our kind, which you are subject to despite your low status, Duskborn?" And they all seem to nod. You're not convinced they actually really know what she's talking about, but you think she could say anything at this point and they would nod and agree. She says, "You will be marked as befits your station and the prince's mercy. And from this time of marking, you will have 1 month in which to show proper tribute to the prince and prove why you should be allowed to remain here in Oxfordshire. Do you understand?" They all nod again. She says, "Good." So the man who comes back out again, you feel you're like that little twitching, but you're cool. You've got it. But only just. He doesn't come in like he's done anything wrong, but he does come in holding a strange-looking. Well, not strange-looking. He comes in holding what looks like a branding iron, which looks like it's got a crescent shape at the top. There is a scent in the air, and it immediately makes you feel uncomfortable. Like whatever it is that has been that, like not only does it feel, you can see the air shimmering slightly around the metal as if it's been heated up, but also the smell that comes with it. There is something unnatural, something that that primal part of you says, don't go near that. In the same way it would react to an open flame, but not quite as kind of as direct. You don't feel the urge to run away, but you just feel the urge to keep your distance. And he goes over to Norman.
The instant he gets close, I'm turning away.
Okay. You turn away.
I can't watch this.
And he looks and Saholder will look to, well, just to you generally, and will say, hold him. So you're going to go and hold him?
Yeah.
I would hold as well.
So you two move to either side and you hold him. Norman's kind of like, hey, we're just here to chat. He realises he's not just here to chat anymore. And he's like, oh, well, we can talk. And you hear Saholder just say, shh. There is to be no talking now. I have talked. You have listened. This is done. And the man, he's quite a burly guy, like pushes back to reveal like the skin kind of just tucked away beneath the hairline normally, and will brand him. You two being very close will smell that burning, but also with that scent, and there's something about it. You don't like it. Don't like it. You hear the hiss and sizzle of metal on skin. He obviously calls out in pain, struggles a bit, but between the two of you, you hold him. And then the guy steps back. He moves to Marissa, who starts to say, I'm injured. I'm injured. Can't this wait? I'm hurt. And Saholder says, the prince's justice cannot wait. So, you assume you repeat the process.
Yep.
Again, there is a branding. Again, it is uncomfortable. Lastly, they come to Katie, and when he moves quite substantial kind of blonde dreadlocks out of the way, what you see is a crescent moon mark burnt into the back of her neck. And the guy stops and looks back and points. He doesn't say anything, he just points. Saholder leans forward in her chair.
Yeah, I just turn her head.
So it's more easily visible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the two of you maneuver her, and she says, I thought I recognized your stench, Duskborn. Tell me, have you returned since the branding? Katie shakes her head. She says, have you presented some tribute to the prince or to any of the prince's loyal kindred? She shakes her head. So, twice now you have been in violation of the prince's law. She nods. And then says to you, these two, and indicates Norman and Marissa. Return them to a place you feel suitable. This one, she looks at Katie. Make an example of her and leave her where the others might find her. Then return here.
And I just drag her, because she's not going to come willingly.
Yeah, she's not actually fighting you right now. She is letting you drag her out.
So I just let her stand up. Yeah. Move.
So
Sir Holder, may I speak?
very well.
We are new to the area. Would you please mind telling us which parts are sort of frequented by the Duskborn, so we can make an example of Marisa?
They all talk to one another, I'm given to understand. take them back where you found them or near enough. It will do. Leave her with the others, if it please you. Let them deal with the mess. Let them tell the story. She looks now back to Norman and Marissa, of those who defy the prince's will.
Understood.
She says one last thing towards Norman and Marissa. She says, you have only one chance, and you have just used it. Do not come to me again unless it is with tribute. They nod lots. Katie doesn't say anything. She's just looking at the ground. So, assumedly you are leaving the chamber.
Yep.
Sally will come out with you. Anything I should know, Joanne, about the manner in which you leave?
She's going to stick with the other two and kind of just be like, I just do what they say.
Okay.
Don't waste this.
So you soon find yourself outside the farmhouse again. As soon as you're outside the farmhouse, Norman says, "Look, we can. What do we need to do? We can make a deal. We can talk. Let's just be reasonable. Let's just be reasonable."
From what I understand, she's already being very reasonable. You know what's going to happen to your friend.
He shakes his head. It's around this point that Katie tries to make a break for it.
Leg again.
If she's running,
Okay.
I'm gonna throw the knife at her back.
Okay. So
hoping before he pulls the gun out, the knife's in her back.
all right.
As I
it
see
quiet.
like her starting to run, I'm just going to move between the two that aren't running to kind of be like,
If you don't run, we don't kill you. Exactly.
Yep.
It's like don't you run. Don't you run.
Okay.
Yeah, probably he will react faster than myself because I'm gonna be like annoyed, going like, really.
No, you have to wilt that because that's.
So you take the knife the clean knife that Theo's given you, and you throw it.
Clean-ish. He will.
Clean. I mean, yeah, cleanish. Cleanish.
Water, soap.
I
Oil.
stand corrected.
4.
You throw the knife. He expertly, it seems, takes the knife out, throws it. However, Katie is going like a bat out of hell. She's already kind of low, sprinting. She's just going faster than you're expecting. And she is already trying to sprint into towards the darkness of the fields. The knife spins over her head. You are shooting her in the leg. Go for it.
That is 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
Okay. 4 successes. Unfortunately for her, despite her great rolling, you're using a gun.
Yeah.
She does not possess supernatural reflexes, and she's in a field. And so therefore...
Zero cover,
and
I
therefore,
think.
you shoot her, and... Sorry, what was your success total again?
4. Damage rating 3.
Yeah. She goes over. She goes over.
It's a gun. And I start walking.
Yep.
Like, literally, I don't rush it. I just walk.
Yep.
If she starts like crawling or whatever, I just gesture silence to get her. But if not, I just walk all the way to her. It's like
staying with the other two, kind of just like,
Yeah. They look terrified, but they don't do anything.
they're there. Why?
As he's saying that, I'm going. I'm finding the knife.
What made you think you could outrun a bullet?
She's just laying there staring at you like she just doesn't even have the words. So you load them assumedly back into the van.
I am not helping with any of them. I take no actions in this regard. I am more angry that it is possible to verbalise at this sequence of events. So I'm concentrating all of my effort on not totally losing my shit.
Okay.
So
As Katie is loaded back onto the van, she does look at you in like a help me kind of way. She seeks you out with her eyes, especially.
I approach.
And then she's put in the van.
I approach Joanne.
Yeah.
Because I mean, she's a doctor, and she turned around when the others were branded. Like, what's gonna happen with her? I'll take care of that. You don't have to come and witness it, if you so choose. I think it would be good that you at least came all the way with us, even if you stay outside.
I'll watch if I'm to be part of this society I'm forced myself into. I'm still not used to it, but...
What's gonna happen has nothing to do with being kindred.
It does, though.
No, the next step is something kind to. It's just making an example out of somebody. Drug cartels, the mafia. You name them, they do it.
She's been put into the back of the van.
What? Katie?
Katie?
Yes.
I get into the back of the van with her to
Okay.
sit with her.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Are
she's
you
just going to light up and just go,
No, she's going to be murdered in
I'll be
cold
there.
blood after
is-
I told her she wouldn't be harmed. The least she deserves
Come.
is for me to sit there with her while it happens. There's
Okay.
nothing I can do about it.
Are the other two guys sat together as we get them back?
Yes, but they're not sat with Katie.
Yeah.
So Katie is sat separately. Marissa and Norman are sat together.
I
They are staying very quiet, that pair. Katie will be looking at you and she says, "You have to help me.
I can't help you.
You promised you'd help me. You promised I'd be safe."
I know I did. And truth of the matter is, I didn't know what was going to happen when I took
You
it.
lied to me. You've killed me.
Yeah.
Killed me. She kind of bangs her head on the kind of back of the van in that kind of frustrated way.
approach the man with the big beard before we leave, as they put everyone.
Yeah, he looks at you.
Do you have tools? DIY tools, a small set. I'll bring it back.
He kind of waves a thick finger at you and a kind of, yeah, and then he wanders off and he will come back with a toolkit.
Thank you very much. If not possible to return it by the end of the night, it'll be tomorrow.
You're not.
I'll
Well,
clean
no
it.
problem. You
I'll
seem to
clean
get
it.
some sort
And, I do not suppose you have an apron.
Again, this looks like something maybe he's heard before. It goes off.
Yeah, as we get to the other two, I'm going to kind of, if they're close together, I'm going to kind of lean to those two and go, I cannot help her. She is beyond my help. You two have the chance to help yourselves. Do it. Please.
Norman says to you, very quietly, says, they said something we had to, pay off, the chance to be here. What do they want? What do we pay them? How much do we pay them? How does it work? Will you help us?
I can ask, but I can do no more.
He doesn't push the issue. Okay. So you
Drive.
essentially, we'll kind of speed this up a little bit. You drive back to Wantage.
Take off the jacket, put on the apron.
If he looks like he's going down that path, we will get into it. Because if she's going to be killed, she better be killed quickly. I don't want any other.
Okay, so
additional-
hang on. So this sounds like a potentially fun role-playing situation.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
the van that you've got back. Whereabouts are you going back to the house you were before?
No.
I assume not. So where are you
There's
going?
police. I asked them, where would you like to spend the night, given that your place has been compromised?
Norman says, "Are you going to drop us off?"
Yes, all three of you. Do you have another place where you can spend the day?
He looks a bit unsure. And then Marissa, who's obviously injured and looks like she's barely holding it together, says, Go to Heather's. Go to Heather's. And Norman gives her like a shut up kind of look and says,
Is she another Dustborn?
He says, no, just a friend.
Will she be a problem?
Anybody with decent... Anyone got an insight pool with, let's say, your call of resolve all wits of over 2?
Yeah.
6.
So hard is 3, yeah? So it's difficulty 2, so yeah, you beat it by 1.
Oh yeah, the doctor.
So
you need to know
3.
what is it that ails
In
them.
both your cases, you don't believe. You don't think Norman. You think Norman is trying to lie. You don't believe him. Whether you say anything is up to you.
Like,
You've already fucked yourselves over by getting into this situation.
No, they didn't.
Stop making it worse.
No, they didn't. They were never given a fair shot of it in the first place. Just like Katie here wasn't. And we just sitting in this place talking about honor and duty and knights. And you're going to haul these people in front of you, tell them they need tribute, not talk to them at all about what it is, and then goddamn murder them for the sake of not providing the thing you never told them about. That has nothing to do with them. That is on those people back there.
what happened in the past with her, it's a problem that we sadly need to deal with ourselves, as instructed by our sires. Now, these two, and I look at Norman and
Not my sire.
guess again, he's the one who took you to that meeting.
But
a
he
week
ain't
ago.
here, and he didn't give me that instruction.
Oh yeah,
Just in point of fact.
there is something to be done here, and I just look at Norman and
Okay.
We should drop them where they're saying.
yeah, we will go to Heather's or to any other place in which you can safely have your day sleep. You are correct. They have not been told what a tribute is, so
Sort of seems like loading a deck against them, doesn't it?
it's okay.
No, it ain't okay.
I
That's
will
my whole damn point.
take care of it.
You don't need to take care of it. We're a group here. We can ask the question.
Quiet.
Otherwise,
Compel.
Oh! And at that point, let's go to a break. And everyone make sure they got the right call. Juicy. Juicy Lucy. All right. So
It's like your last. It was like, oh my god, no, she's not saying that. No. Okay. First things first. For the break, we have new patrons, and first, a big thank you and shout out to one of our new patrons, Manuk, who also drew Finn's art. So we have fan art of Finn, who has been put to good use. And to another great new patron that we have, Angarad. Thank you very much, both of you, Manuk and Angarad, for supporting us. And now it's relationship map time. Yeah.
got the stick. So the relationship map is up on the website. It has been updated with lots of lovely fan art. So Manuk's fan art of Finn is on there. And I think we've got at Cricket's fan art of the Coterie.
Yes.
So people can
The
go and
8-bit.
see that. Yes, absolutely. We have added to that the various sires and the people who we met last session. So that was Sally and Miyuki, and also interactions. Yep. So people, when they go to this, if you click on the circles, you'll be able to see what we know about the characters. If you click on the lines between the circles, then you'll get some interesting stuff for the Coterie on their first impressions of each other, their first impressions of their sires. I think we were gonna go through and tell people who don't fancy the job of clicking what those were.
Yeah.
Once Lane comes back. Who else did we add? We added Mark, the stunt guy, the actor. We added Rena, who's the director, and we added Jessica, who is Velvet's wife. Mm-hmm. Have I missed anyone? Oh, Sir Holder.
Sir Holder.
Yeah, the most important person.
So you might have actually said this and I missed it, but it's on the Blood on the Tamesis website under Shreknet files.
Oh yeah, there's a.
I did not say
It's
that.
embedded.
It's embedded there,
Yes.
so you can essentially at your leisure click on any time if you want to remind yourself of what people look like, or who they are, or who they're connected to.
It's on Kumu, which is a very nice platform for it, because then you can go and link on a character, and then the web page will declutter. It will just bring to the forth and
You
sort
can
of
just see
gray
what you're
out
looking at.
just the character and its connections. So it's good.
Also, just actually while I think of it, because Lucy, you asked me in the week about this. I know you're watching. You asked me what a relationship map is. Lucy is new to everything vampire.
Hello.
So just by way of explanation, the relationship map describes the coterie and the various people with whom they've interacted in the session. So it's a good way for you to keep up to date on who people are and what their relationships to each other are. So I guess depending the outcome of this next roleplay, it might change.
Yeah. But if you're listening to this and you had questions about the relationship map, we have a video also that you can find in our YouTube channel. We explain the relationship map of our previous chronicle, but the gist of it is right there. In this chronicle, you will find it in the website, so go and look for it there. But you will see that the player characters are there. There are connections. There are opinions. Their sires are there. People that are important to them. The greatest benefit of doing it online and having it digital is that we can just populate it with the people and move it on. Our relationship map, we made it physical corkboard and strings and stuff, and we had from book to book we had to declutter it. This is something that the new relationship map won't face those issues.
I think you'll also see sort of while I think of it, we've represented the Sire's coterie as well.
Yeah.
So you'll see the coterie as they the secondary coterie as they are as well.
Yeah.
So were we gonna talk about our impressions of each other?
Oh
I
yeah.
think it would be hilarious and fun.
Hilarious.
So yeah.
So what are your impressions of the rest of the coterie?
So Velvet's first impression of Theo, and it's definitely a first impression, probably is shifting, was hey, this is a guy I can work with. So that was his first impression of Theo. His first impression of Joanne was, I guess I'm not the only person who locked down the crappy Sire stakes.
Oh yeah.
And his first impression of Silas was I don't really know what to make of this guy. I need more time to figure him out.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should do lame laugh.
Yes. Theo's first impression.
Oh yeah, have the stick.
Oh yeah.
I got it. So first impression of is poor guy's having a hard time. Yeah, ain't that true? To Theodore, he doesn't seem new to this at all. It's just so calm and collected. What? And to Joanne, if she's practicing surgeon, her composure and resolve for that situation is freaking phenomenal. Holy crap!
So
Until
Theo,
the first frenzy.
yeah, yep. Theo's impression on the coterie, as far as I remember, is something along the lines of her instruction and education is lacking. So I need to address that if she's going to be my coterie. Fellow kindred, fellow clansmate, but needs help if we want to bring glory to the blood instead of bringing shame to it.
We're about to bring shame.
Feels relevant somehow to us.
And a blunt instrument is still an instrument. Please.
Doormat? Slimy prick? Arrogant prick?
I feel like you should also tell us the one you did for Barnaby as well.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably much older than me, but acts like he's fucking 7.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Okay.
Do we have questions?
Yeah, we got
Uh-oh.
right, we got two main ones, which is it's an interesting question, I think, because it can tell you a bit about the Chronicle. But do you think that the dog killing could gain Silas any stains?
Well, the thing is, the only way that Silas can get stains for killing a dog is either the Chronicle tenets themselves or his convictions are in some way impacted. So if Silas has something like, a dog is man's best friend or something as a conviction, or dogs before humans or whatever, then yes. But the Chronicle tenets, such as they are serve not the beast, be true to your lord, and bring no shame upon your blood. And so in these cases, because we're not playing with humanist tenets anymore, Silas can murder as many dogs as he wants, and as long as...
But it's because he's a horrible monster with no convictions of its own against this indiscriminate canine killing business.
So yeah, that in this chronicle, it's only supernatural evil and things that goes against those tenets.
I would like to press defense, Your Honour.
But
He's adoring.
it was an adorable attempt, though, and if anyone in chat ever wants to raise questions about ways to give the players stains, I'll always give you a fair hearing. Are there any other questions?
Yeah, so this is one which you kind of touched on with your descriptions of the struggle and stuff, but how are you finding this so far? Carson feel it's very different from the first Chronicle. How are you finding the shift in tone? And how do you feel about your alignment in this Chronicle and how it will evolve?
Blimey.
Well, there's many questions for that. That's for everybody?
Yeah.
I can just say I'm handling the shift in tone just fine. It's fine for me.
It's very different for me. Like the shift in tone, just out of the Chronicle tenets, the Chronicle feels absolutely different. This is going to be less of an internal moral dilemma, less of an internal existentialist dilemma, as in the nature of your humanity and the beast and all of that, and more a moral dilemma around loyalties. Where do you stand, and how does that anchors your soul to humanity? Because that's what effectively the Chronicle tenets are. If we follow them, we will feel our souls anchored to humanity, and that sets the tone in a completely different manner. And it's very interesting that the choices become very clear for some cases, and choices that were clear, like very clear in the previous Chronicle, become very muddy. It complicates some stuff, makes a lot of other stuff easy. So it is a very interesting exercise. So I would recommend thinking, rethinking, and toying with your Chronicle tenets whenever possible, because they're really interesting.
Well, the instant the dog killing happened, I was like, so this is going in a direction. And I was like, yeah, let's ride out. Let's see where this goes.
I mean, for both characters now, their first kills. I mean, for both main characters, they're both first kills. And if you've seen the terms, Jim's Embrace, well, if you listen to that one, yeah, you know that there's a little theme there.
There's animal cruelty everywhere.
You'll get a reputation if you're not careful.
I know, and it's terrifying.
You can only blame the storyteller so many times, right?
I mean,
like, no, it's
He's lovely, really.
That's what he wants you to think?
Yeah.
I think, did we cover everything with that question?
Oh my god.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I think so. And last question is very quickly. What would you say your Hogwarts house is as your character?
Slytherin.
My character.
Oh wait, my character. No, that's me.
Do they want just a character, or do you want us as well? Just
characters. So we can get back to this horrible combat.
I mean, Silas is most definitely a Gryffindor without a shadow of a doubt.
Hufflepuff.
Ravenclaw?
I mean, Theo is adorable. Come on. No. Theo would be like, I don't know, he wouldn't even study.
You're both Slytherin, shut up.
Yeah.
I'm
would have
definitely
been kicked out.
Hufflepuff. I'm definitely Hufflepuff.
I feel like we're going to enter into like an out-of-character combat before the in-character combat with it. Cool, thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, so where we ended is with the Coterie
Having an argument in front of Thinbloods, and I'm going like, no, I'm not having this. I'm dealing with this, and then I'm dealing with you.
Okay, so you have turned, locked eyes with Velvet, and said, "Shut up." Which
quiet?
Oh, quiet. Sorry.
Says,
yeah, sorry.
Not disrespectfully.
No. You're
not disrespectfully.
You're not disrespectfully using dominate to silence him at all.
I am
fine.
forcefully.
Fine.
using dominate.
Oh, that's the
So
worst point
this
of
is
view.
going to call. This is going to call for a contest. Now remember, when we do player versus player contests, you roll your dice. You decide if you're going to spend willpower. You decide if you're going to rouse before you roll. But don't call out your result until everybody has finished rolling and re-rolling and so forth.
What do I have to roll?
Carlos will tell you.
This is
And does my fortitude apply?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm afraid to say
Yeah.
it's not yet in play.
intelligence plus resolve.
Okay.
So intelligence plus resolve as a pool.
Yeah, I should spend. So I should do whatever I can to make this better.
You can rouse if you want to get an extra dice.
Yeah, let's do that.
So what that'll mean is you'll roll to see if you get hungrier.
You
but it's a
first you add it.
normal
Yeah,
dice.
you first add it.
First you add it, yeah.
And then after everything's sorted with the roll,
Okay.
then you roll to see if you go hungry.
Then I don't have to spend willpower yet.
No.
Okay.
So before you call your result, decide if you're going to spend willpower or not.
Nope.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Ooh. So for you two, Joanne and Silas, you are aware of this moment that occurs between Theodore and Velvet when they have locked eyes. And there seems like a thing in Kindred society that Kindred lock eyes with each other, and then one of them at some point back down. So tell us what you got then.
4 successes. I was hoping to get a crit win because I already had a 10. That's why I re-rolled.
So you got 4 successes.
4 normal.
Full normal.
No,
What did
no
you
crit,
get,
no
Velvet?
crit.
6 with a crit, I think.
6
Six.
and a critical
No,
hit.
That's
it's just
disgusting.
110, so it's.
So it's
okay.
not a crit
Oh,
win.
okay, right, sorry.
So
yeah.
4 versus 6.
As they lock eyes, I'm just going to go to the others. Just stay quiet.
To the
Thinbloods, like,
yeah.
don't get caught up in this.
Yeah,
Okay.
I get kind of doing the same at this point.
Okay, so you two retreat from the field of combat with dignity, and you lock eyes. Now, for you, Velvet, there's this moment where you do feel Theodore's kind of imposition of his will. The thing is,
I'm used.
you've had a lot of impositions of will upon yourself,
Probably. I mean, Wallace must be like
and this feels like someone pushing at you as opposed to a train driving over you. It's like recognizable as a force.
What is that?
It's recognizable as a force,
Wow.
but
I do not envy your aiming. I do not envy you.
But you have that moment where you do feel this weird, like almost like an urge to, like your jaw about to, but
Yeah.
no, but hang on, you're used to this, and you've had just about enough of it, quite frankly. So you are not compelled to stop talking. So carry on. So you said quiet.
Yeah, it's quiet. We'll finish this conversation after they're dropped in a place the sun will not shine on you, and then we will decide what to do.
You know what? I don't think that we need to wait that long. I think this is a conversation we should be having here and now.
I'm a little taken aback.
Yeah.
But the fact that she's talking is like. Then I remember.
Yeah, the fact that he is actually talking back to you is like, what? This isn't how this panel works.
Now.
Yeah.
I'm used to using this in another way.
No, yeah.
Roll all day.
Yeah, so we're just checking to see if Velvet goes hungry.
If I-
No, you don't. You're fine.
Thank you.
Your hunger will increase.
There are rules.
I get that. What I'm saying is, if there are rules, they should apply to everyone, not just whoever we goddamn say it is. And the same rules that have clearly been applied to these people, they weren't told about them like we were, they haven't been given an opportunity to even succeed, and now one of them is going to be murdered because she didn't do something she wasn't told she was supposed to do. And that is not right. No matter how you cut it. No matter how you cut it, it's not right.
Their sires had a responsibility. Yours told you where you're coming from, and he's made an effort to get you in a coterie, and he's making an effort to get you introduced to the prince so you can request to stay in this city. I don't know what this people's sires have done, but she knows. And I point at Katie.
Yeah.
She knows the rules. She knows the law. She knew the consequences very well. And Norman told me earlier tonight that she had mentioned us and every other kindred in Oxfordshire. So they knew there were rules. So there are rules and they apply to everybody and they were aware.
But they didn't know what they were. knowing there are rules and knowing what they are two totally separate things. And actually, in point of fact, Norman and whatever her name is here, sitting down in front of that woman and being told, you have to provide tribute. If that's the extent of the information that Sally got, it ain't no goddamn wonder that she is sitting here in this position.
And that's where I would tend to agree with you. That's why I'm saying I will take care of it. I will figure out what tribute is so they can provide it. But in the meantime, we have orders.
Right. All right. We have to take care of this. Otherwise, you know what's going to happen 3 weeks from now? Or 4 weeks from now? We're going to be hunting these guys down again and doing the exact same goddamn thing. We have to make a difference about it.
Yeah. But we cannot make a difference about Katie. I am sorry. You had your chance. You know the rules. They were probably unfair. That is not for us to judge.
Casey does not meet your eye. She's just looking down, letting her hair fall over her face.
Now, I will ask one more time, Norman. I need a place where you two can spend your day sleep and where we can leave Katie with you.
Yeah, sure.
And I need a place in which I don't have to deal with other people knowing.
Yeah, this person's cool. They won't raise any problems. We're friends. They won't say anything about any points at Marissa's injury. We'll
I'm talking about much worse things. And I look at Katie. You do realize there are orders to be followed.
He says,
I throw glances at Velvet from time to time. It's like, that should have worked. But I say nothing.
I look equally surprised.
Okay. He kind of looks like he doesn't want to say it out loud, and he speaks quietly, but obviously everyone
will
can
happen.
hear it. He says, what are you gonna do?
Kill her. Give her final death. Sadly, she has to die so you two can live.
He just sort of slumps slightly and says, "Yeah, fine."
As once we've loaded them into the back, well, pad and a bit of paper and go. Give me numbers.
You want to Marissa and
Yeah.
Norman?
Numbers.
They will write down some numbers for you. Marissa looks at you and says, "You can't do this, right? You're not going to see this through. You could just let us off anywhere. We could leave. We could get on a train. We could be gone."
That is understood. You can be let go. You can leave Oxfordshire, but you have been branded. Should you ever set foot in Oxfordshire again, without having presented tribute, you will be killed in the manner Katie will die tonight, and you will witness it.
This isn't the only city where we are. If you go to another one, and you get caught up in this again, and they see what you have on the back of your neck, they're not going to be as lenient as she was back there.
Casey says, "You could let me go. I could leave. I could never come back. I could leave the country. I could go. I could run. You could."
You could, but then we couldn't. And right now, I would not trade the lives of the four of us for yours. Us not fulfilling our duty means the death for all four of us. We have not been introduced formally to the prince yet. We need to prove ourselves as well.
Marissa mutters something very quietly, like she was going to say something and then seems to think better of it. You try. If you're trying to hear,
Absolutely.
No, I'm not even.
Yeah, okay. I think you're close enough, Joanne, because you've been treating her. She'll just be like, "What, we're supposed to feel sorry for you?" But it comes out more like, "What, we're supposed to feel sorry for you?" Because she's terrified. She's not going to say.
So we're basically not.
You don't have to feel sorry for us. I don't. We're trying to save you. Please, just...
You can be saved. Now, for the last time, a place.
So Norman will give you an address.
Any kind that might draw attention. Anyone that can get in the way or pose a problem will be dealt with. So I really hope your friend knows how to keep quiet and leaves. Give me an address.
They give you an address. Norman will say, I'll tell them to leave us alone.
Cool. And that's what we do.
So Norman will ask permission to call ahead. He says, well, if I let them know we're coming, then that'd be better, wouldn't it?
Sure. Also, Norman, I really, really hope there are no other Thinbloods you're not letting us know about. I mean, it would be a pity that there are further Thinbloods in this city and we wouldn't know, and they managed to escape the city before we find them. I mean, our jurisdiction only goes so far as the boundaries of Oxfordshire. But I trust you. I trust that you will tell us of any other person that might not have met with the requirements. And saying that, I just start fiddling with the radio.
So, by any chance, am I to assume you are trying to intimidate Norman?
No, I'm telling him, like, if there are other Thinbloods you haven't told us about, you either deliver them now or tell them to get out of town. If we find them, we'll kill them.
Okay.
It's basically a warning.
Yeah. So he will make a phone call, and you'll hear it like a pickup. I mean, you can't hear it because you're driving, but you can hear a little bit, and he'll just be saying, "We need to use your house. Things have no. Look, I can't talk about it. We need to use your house. Don't be there when we get there. Just leave it unlocked and come back tomorrow night or something. Trust me. Trust me." And then call ends. So you arrive. You are in a slightly nicer. I mean, it's not like super swanky, but you're no longer in this kind of dingy sort of place that feels threatening in quite the same way. It is better lit. There is a little bit more people around. It is now, I should say, it was about 9:30 when we picked up the action, and it's probably now more like 11 o'clock at night. So there's not lots of people out and about or around, but there is a bit more activity than there was. And you will come to some houses, which again are kind of packed in relatively closely, but they just seem slightly nicer. The gardens are kept better in most cases. Parking seems a little better too.
Once we are inside, I just grab a chair.
So you're going into the house. Okay.
Grab a chair. Put it. Is the bedroom something like carpet or whatever? Sorry, not bedroom. The living room.
The living room is not carpeted.
You're lucky. And I put the chair in the middle of the living room. Instruct Katie to sit there. Put the tools on the table. Take off the jacket. Put on the apron.
Wait. What is this about? No. You don't need to be doing this to be doing that.
Doing what?
Whatever it is I think you're proposing. Whatever it is that's making you move your jacket out.
Well, it's not going to be a shot in the head.
Why not?
Because we were taught to make an example out of her.
Well, that's not enough of an example?
No.
And who are you to judge that?
The person in charge of delivering the example. Unless you have a gun and want to shoot her in the head.
You have a gun. Give it to me, I'll shoot her in the head.
Was I made to understand that make an example of her was like mafia style, make an example of her?
I mean, your senses make it so that other Thinbloods make sure they either leave or pay the tribute. So, yeah, I mean, you would think your understanding of it, and she wasn't crystal clear, is going to be either probably kill
Okay.
and potentially
Torture.
in such a manner that these other Thinbloods will get the message. So yes, that probably, I imagine from Theo's point of view, that is the reading he would get from what was said.
Let's do something.
What?
I'll take care of it. But they don't have to witness it. I mean, this was supposed to be a show with an audience of 2. And I look at them both. Just move them to another room, and then they can come and clean up the mess. And I wink at you. As I get my holster, like, sort of out of the way.
Alright, but I get to stay here.
Cool. You can keep me honest then. Mr. Shaw? Miss Dr. Salt? Can you please put them in another room while we work?
Yes.
So you move them to another room. They're not saying anything. They often cast furtive glances towards the door, towards each other, but they seem cowed for now. You take them to another room. Meanwhile, what are you two doing?
I'm looking for an empty bottle or a bottle of like Coke or
Yes.
something, even if it's not empty.
So yeah, you can find it. You're in a reasonably what looks like a sort of family home, not super wealthy. There are bottles, there are things in the fridge. There is stuff that speaks to you of people living in this place.
Oh, okay, cool. So there's probably some tape around and things like that.
There's all kinds of stuff. It's a house that has
Cool.
lots of the things you normally
Bottle,
find.
tape, pillows.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you win. This is still gonna be a mess, and they still have to clean it. And we'll
I
wait.
will help you clean it.
We'll wait 5 minutes
Right.
just to put the fear of God in them, so they think things are going wrong.
Theo,
Have they been taken downstairs,
They are.
upstairs, downstairs?
Where are you? How far away are you taking them in the house?
We can take them a decent way, but I'm gonna very say to them, stay here, don't make me chase you. And then I'm gonna go back.
So you're going to leave them just with
I'm gonna
Joanne?
stay in the room with him, yeah.
Okay. Cool. So you're heading back up. Meanwhile, you two?
I start, like, I grab the toolkit, I open it, grab whatever is long and go.
Okay, so you are going to start making lots of horrible sounds, such that if you were listening, it would sound awful. Okay.
As I start hearing this, I'm just gonna go to, like, because I've seemingly I've got their attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They seem like, now that there's just the two of them and the one of you, like they seem a little bit less cowed, like they're starting to pay a bit more attention to their surroundings, to you. You are aware that the numerical superiority has vanished, but they haven't yet acted. They are, of course, Marissa is of course injured.
Yeah. I'm just gonna, like, look them both in the eyes, just go, this is your chance. You've heard what's going to happen down there?
They nod.
I suggest you take it. The people who find you again are not going to be as merciful as me. I'm probably going to catch shit for helping you with your leg anyway.
Norman says, are you saying we should run?
No.
Ah.
That's what I want to say, but
Are you going to help us do whatever it is they say? Look, we can get you things. We can work with you. That's what I said to that guy. I said we can work with you.
You gave him your numbers, correct?
Yeah.
We'll do some footwork on your behalf, find out what needs to be presented as tribute, and we'll contact you.
All right.
All right?
Yes. So whilst you're having this conversation, these horrible noises going on, and just the thought of what I mean, Theo seems capable of anything potentially, and they kind of flinch.
That's what I'm
whenever
kind
they
of
hear
like
the sounds.
banking on to keep the intimidation. Like,
I'm guessing
You will come into this. So
I'm a Theo bear.
the thing that becomes clear when you come in is that they don't seem to be doing anything to Katie, but they
We're
are.
having a conversation and hitting like.
But they are
the
occasionally
table.
making noises and things that sound pretty awful.
Just cracking.
This actually is in your wheelhouse. if you
And
like.
yes, I will do whatever I can
Yes, sound
to
effects guy.
enhance it with knowing performing new
Sure.
sound effects.
Apologies, Mr. Did you leave Dr. Salt alone with the other two?
I'm sure they'll stay. They start really ramping up the.
I didn't know that sounded that way. And I started.
Okay, you create a monstrous soundscape. Yeah, they really seem like they're getting to town now.
And at some point, if I seen that Katie is like on a lull or whatever, the moment she stops jumping at every
Yeah.
noise.
She does jump quite a lot actually, because she has no idea that you're not about to actually do anything at any point. So she.
Yeah. The moment I see her, it's like they so listening to the noises and just waiting, just from behind. Merciful, back of the is the skull.
You're shooting her.
Yeah.
Do you have a silencer on your gun?
I just improvised one with a bottle and a lot of stuff.
Ah, that's what you are.
Worrying set of knowledge. Yeah.
A very precise set of skills.
have you not watched an action movie for a while? That's what they.
Okay.
I need something stronger.
Boom.
There is this moment of change
It's gonna sound, but it's not gonna boom.
There is this moment where, so you've been in a position where it's like, oh, we're making these, we're just kind of pretending, right? And you're pretty good at this kind of stuff. I mean, you're no expert, but you know the basics, and you can. And then all of a sudden, it's not pretending at all, and Theo executes her.
This is the point where I collapse on the couch, just.
I try to make it at an angle that the whole blood splatter doesn't fall on them, but there is a splatter.
Yeah.
And then after the deed is done, I go like, I hope that was merciful enough.
So I've never seen anyone murdered before or died. So I am completely shocked by this. When I recover from that, I guess a similar response to Silas, I will offer him my hand. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now comes the dirty part. Don't bring them downstairs yet. Leave me to it. I take out my stuff and put on the apron, put on the gloves, smear myself with some blood, probably cut her head just to be sure that she has final death. Splatter blood everywhere I hit with the hammer. It's basically give me 5 to 10 minutes and then come stairs. When the guys will come down, my apron and my gloves are going to be smeared with blood. There's going to be blood everywhere.
Okay. So I'm just going to, as a check, assuming that you are just going to make this as horrible as possible and then bring them in.
Not much more so. I just need, it's just beheading, just, again, certainty of certain death.
Okay.
And using that blood to, but that is some messy business in
I get the idea. So, I think at this point, what I'm going to do is kind of move forward.
I think as we're leaving, and I'll just say to the other two, she knew. She knew what would happen. And now you do as well.
I take off the rubber gloves. That's your speech.
Please don't make us do this again.
They seem to have got the message.
You weren't the only ones not given a choice in all of this.
So, there is a sort of somber return when you are done. You leave Norman and Marissa to sort out the remains.
Sally didn't come with us.
No, Sally did not come with you here. And you return with the van, one assumes.
Yeah, I think on the way back, I'm still just processing this.
So
I wave at the guy with the beard. It's like, I need a place to
hang on a minute. Before we get there, So you assumed you're driving the van. You're in the back.
Yeah.
Probably.
You're in the.
I'll sit in the front.
Okay, you're in the front. You're in the back.
I'm in the really dirty van in the back.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good. So Silas is clearly in shock.
Let's see how your bedside manners are.
Is anyone saying anything to each other on the way back that I should be aware of?
As soon as I see that Silas is kind of like in shock, it's first time, I assume, is not like the real. You've seen the fake, but not the real, I assume.
Yeah, that's it's a lot different, and the stuff that we use for special effects is of a different consistency. It is not the same.
Flour and red food colouring, yes.
It's a different compound, but that's what they used to use. There's I kind of look out one of the concealed pot knives.
Yeah.
I using these, and I've never sort of bend to it. This is what I've been used to using, but I guess I'm gonna try and get some real ones. This is what the fuck.
It's not what I had exactly expected on the first job, but this is what we're thrust into now, isn't it?
You're still practicing as a surgeon?
Yes.
Holy fuck, you have some resolve. I mean,
It's not my first time seeing someone die or even having a knife in them as they die. And it doesn't get easier. Not for me anyway. It might end up easier for you, but
it's the knowledge that what we are requires, but and you're still practicing with them on the table.
yes.
I tip my hat to you, because that's some serious knowledge. The smell of bloods. I've never blood smelled like that, and I know the taste of blood is tempting. The smell of the air is still tempting, which is like, and you're actively resisting that impulse.
I'm trying to stay one step apart from all of this, but I don't have that choice anymore.
Honestly, that's
And now this has happened, you don't either.
no, but the fact that you're still practicing, that's incredible.
Gotta survive somehow.
That we do.
I make a decent wage, but not enough to...
I survive myself. Oh boy.
Can just reach over, pat him on the back, and just be like, we're here for you now, though.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to look after each other, because I don't think anyone else will, and I don't think alone.
You've already seen they won't.
Yeah, I think alone, none of us will make it. You watch my back, I'll watch yours. Best we can.
I'll do my best.
Meanwhile, in the front of the van.
Apologies for the giggling, but it's like
No.
when he asked about like, "Are you a practicing doctor?" and she was like, "Yes." My first thought was Finn is gonna go like Barnaby or whatever you're doing in the art.
No, I like it. I obviously this is they're in the back, so you can't hear them. But you're in the front. Are you talking to each other at all, or are you just driving
We're
back in
attempting
silence?
to eavesdrop.
I'm talking. I would talk to him. Yes,
Sure. If there's anything you want to say that is in particular, go for it.
Thanks, you. I really appreciate what you did back there.
Theodore. But
Sorry. Apologies, Theodore.
never mind, Mr. Riley. Respect is something that is falling out of fashion apparently, but nevertheless I like it.
Well, respect it is then.
And I do agree with you. Some of the things that we deal with are unfair. But they are unfair because of our lack of knowledge. And they are unfair because those responsible with providing us with such knowledge see proactiveness in finding the answers as part of the requirements.
You don't think anything about our world is inherently unfair? Nothing at all?
Oh no, to the contrary. I believe that it was unfair enough to warrant the treatment it did. Sadly, the society we're part of, this kindred society, is strict apparently here in Oxfordshire. Let's call it going for the best of the best. And those who cannot find the answers to the questions sometimes need to be disposed of, or at least they are seen as disposable. Is it unfair? Absolutely. Is it necessary? I would agree. I do believe that being embraced is a responsibility, and taking care of your children and informing them as much as you can is the duty of every sire.
But it's still what do you say, roulette. I mean, it's not like you get told anything about this before you're embraced, right? It ain't like you would know about it ahead of time. It's just like something gets sprung on you, right? It's not like a...
Babies are born every day to parents that wanted them. Sometimes they need not even that. They didn't ask to be brought to this world. They didn't ask to be born in this...
That's not the same thing.
No, it absolutely isn't. Until it is. None of us knew what was all of this about when we were kids. We didn't even know it was a possibility, perhaps. Then we grow up, we think the world works in a certain manner, and all of a sudden we find out there's more to it. It's just one random night, things change. And then they change for good. But the people who changed us had at least the decency of telling us the basics. Even poor Miss Salt knows the bare bone basics of it. And her sire is still in touch with her. So there is a modicum of responsibility there that has been observed. And in that regard, I see hope in her situation. But yes, it is unfair to judge the children for the sins of the father. So the best we can do is just keep the warnings and keep them out of trouble. But we're not babysitters. We're supposed to be gatekeepers, or at least help out. That is my guess, unless you know exactly what we're gonna do.
No, I've got no idea. But that's okay. I have no idea about anything that's happened to me ever since all this started. So, I guess it stays the same. But, as for me, I know you make a good point. But I can't say I can't say that I spend a lot of time in fruitful conversations with my sire.
I see. I understand that you get it, but you don't like it.
No, I don't like it. You're right.
I can respect that.
Well...
I do spend a lot of time in conversation with my sire.
You do?
She happens to be very knowledgeable, and there are several things about the ways of Oxfordshire and Britain that are new to me. So I am curious enough, and she's knowledgeable. She just provides answers.
How do you know she's telling the truth?
She has no reason to lie.
That you know about?
That is what trust is about.
Right.
She trusts me to do anything she asks.
And would you?
For
No
her,
matter what it is, right?
almost everything, yes.
Well,
But if I were to ask for her help, I know that on the same level, she would pretty much do almost anything to help me.
I can respect dedication to a particular ideal, even if I don't agree with the ideal.
This is not an idea. This is two people who, even after death, found common ground and managed to be on the same page. It's just like having a friend. You should try it sometime. Mr. Riley. And I just drive off.
Oh no.
Sorry about that.
So,
I just fall silent.
you say nothing more.
Yeah.
You drive.
I start fiddling again with the radio.
Okay, you get back to the farmhouse, and Sally will be waiting for you outside. When you get out, she says, "Is it done?"
Yes, and I am like carrying like the bag with the apron and
Yeah.
blood and stuff, and the bags. It's like, yes, I need to find the man so I can return his tools, but I would like to wash them first.
She looks at you. Says, "We'll deal with that later."
Oh, absolutely. And I just put them immediately in the ground, get a hanky, clean my shit.
Were there any complications?
None whatsoever.
I made sure that they are going to pay the tribute required and that they know the consequences of what their friend has done.
So, I'll start obviously for those of you who are slightly taller, Sally is quite short, but she acts like someone who's at least twice your size in terms of her.
She's probably about the same height as me then.
And she says, "I'm going to ask you again, were there any complications or any mess-ups?"
Well, there is a mess in the living room where we dealt with the Thinblood we were asked to deal with.
Are you making a joke?
No.
Good. Right, let's go, shall we?
Yes.
So, she'll turn around. So when you...
Like, I'm very seriously saying, yeah, we delivered...
Oh, I know.
Okay.
So she'll go and do that kind of knock again. The door will be opened. The same guy will open the door. He will hold the door for you all to go in.
I let everybody pass, so at the end I can say, apologies, your tools are outside. I have not had a chance to clean them yet.
He gives a little nod on the ground. Like, no problems.
And then I just go in.
So, once you're all inside, he will shut the door behind you. You'll be brought back to Sir Holder. Sally will come in, but she won't come up with you. She'll kind of wait back by the door for a bit. Sir Holder looks at you.
As before.
So, minimal ass.
Yes.
Bowing. Cool. She says, "It is done then."
It is.
Good. There are times that Oxfordshire will make demands of you. I am glad to see that you do not shirk from those demands and that you deal with them efficiently. It is because of our efficiency that Oxfordshire thrives where other cities have struggled, and why it has thrived for so long. As such, I think you show the proper attitude for those who wish to walk the path to the Prince, to ask for his permission to join our city. Come forward, and assuming you do so.
After Theo steps forward, I'll...
Okay. So she will gesture to her aide, and he will come along with a small box, wooden box, lacquered, which he will open. And it seems like you can't see inside very well, but it's kind of padded, and there's the glint of metal in there. And she will reach in. You'll hear the chink of metal on metal, and she will take out something, and she will give you what looks like a small coin. And then she will give you a small coin. And then she will give you a small coin. And then she will hold out a coin towards you. And she will pause briefly. You have enough politics to know that she's waiting to see if you're going to give a more formal show of deference. Are you going to or not? It's up to you.
I mean, I'm assuming from social cues that I know what she's doing, but I want to incite it anyway.
You can figure it out. It's fine.
Yes.
So you're going to give a more deferent bow?
Yes.
Oh, and I had the social combat ready and everything. Okay. you do a more deferent bow, and she will then place the coin into your hands.
Okay.
So the coins that you have...
I actually nod at her breaking, at him breaking. It's like, you know what, relenting, doing what needs to be done.
So this is a Theodore approves of this giving in to authority. Good. Yes. So what you have in your hand is what looks like a very kind of faded coin that has the crest of Oxford, but very faintly imprinted upon it.
Both sides?
No, just on one side.
The obverse is blank.
Yes. And she will say, when the next court comes and your sires take you there, you will present these coins to the Herald, and he will tell you what happens next.
Okay.
But I would advise that you learn the oath of Oxfordshire perfectly and consider what value you can provide to Oxfordshire. And with that, I release you from my care and place you back in the responsibilities of those that sired you.
I slump.
And I bid you good night.
I believe I speak for the House of Pentru when we say thank you, Sir Holder, for keeping us under your care tonight. Mr. Riley? And it's like the subtlest hint of turn around, this is a win, let's leave.
I go with him. Or I go with what he's doing.
Okay, you go with him. And the two of you?
I bow, turn, follow.
Thank you for the opportunity to leave.
Okay, so you are the last to bow. You will catch, because you're very observant and you pick up on these things. The guy with the lots of beard and very little hair, who's quite stocky, who's kind of behind the chair, you just catch the briefest little flicker to Silas as he's walking out. Maybe a flicker of a change in his expression, like a slight, and then normal. You make your way out. You're on your way to making your way out. Everything's cool. You, of course, are all facing the door as you're making your way out. So you, of course, see Sally with a devil of a smile on her face say, Sir Holder, do you remember when they first arrived this evening? Sir Holder says, of course.
I love it, but this is gonna get a kill.
So he says, it seems that I was correct, wasn't I? They were ready. Sir Holder says, as I have agreed by presenting them with their tokens. So he says, yes, but I want you to say it. I want you to say that I was right.
I was going to shoot Sally a glance and just
No, she.
I'm moving out the way of this.
Okay, so let's just say you are like clear the battlefield.
Clear off because nope.
You are like, Sally, no.
I was trying to be like as subtle as I can, just like.
Okay. Theodore.
I'm deciding whether or not to get involved as the events unfold.
Okay, so you're waiting to decide what to do.
I am rooted to the spot in excitement. Speak the words I couldn't speak.
Yes.
Sir Holder says, that hardly seems necessary. I think it would be advisable now for you to lead your charges out of here. And Sally says, of course, as soon as you've admitted that I was correct. And there is
Sally,
a moment.
we are leaving, please.
Okay, so you can effectively act to give an assist to Sir Holder in this. So do you have any... Ooh, I guess we could allow you to put this under persuasion.
I'm just gonna put...
Or leadership? Anything?
This is gonna be like... This is
Any
gonna be
social skill? Right, so...
my hand on
I have composure
Sally's...
3.
Sally's...
Okay.
That's it.
No.
Like my hand on Sally's shoulder.
So you say
The only
those...
social skills I have are insight and subterfuge.
You say those words... Nothing happens.
Leaving.
There's no immediate impact of it. Like, it feels like your voice just doesn't have the kind of power you want it to have. You are putting a hand, on Sally to try and be
On her shoulder is
like-
Miss Hurrick?
Horrocks.
Miss Hurrick. I believe you need to take us back to our sires now.
So are you trying to make
Sir
this...
Holder has acknowledged your wisdom.
Are you...
And I show him the token.
Okay, so are you making this as a sort of persuasion attempt? I'm assuming at the moment you're adding to Sir Holder's... You were giving her an assist rather than making a separate attempt. Is that correct? Or are you trying to separately persuade her?
I am trying to let her, like, basically choose your battles, woman. This is not a battle that you need to
So my
fight.
question to you is this. Are you just trying to back Sir Holder, or are you trying to separately... Are you effectively making it like, listen to Sir Holder, or are you making it like, listen to me?
Oh, it's more listen to me, because if I say listen to Sir Holder, she's gonna go like, but she didn't say it, and I don't want to be in part of that conversation.
Okay, my gosh, we're going into a two-way social combat. Awesome. Anyone else?
Can I
For anyone
assist
else?
Sally?
Of course you can. How would you like to assist Sally?
By thanking her publicly for her obvious correct support of us.
Okay.
Encouraging her, enabling her.
Enabling
What
her.
you're doing
Okay.
is enabling her. You're
So we'll
such
say,
an enabler.
so by assisting Sally, if Sally loses, you can potentially get some of the splashback of
Sure.
social damage. You will be in a separate social combat.
Yeah,
with
I'm gonna
Sally,
be on
which
my
I can
own-
resolve.
on my own-
To you, woman.
So yeah, I'm gonna be in my own train saying just we have been acknowledged. This is a non-issue.
Yeah, sure. So
Remove
you've done
yourself.
your role playing.
And
I'm with
just-
you.
Just me in the background going,
There is your horrified face in the background. All right. Sally turns to look at you. If looks could kill, this will be the end of Theodore's Chronicle. So I would like you to make an appropriate roll. I imagine this is going to be something like... You can argue with me on this, but probably manipulation.
I was using more. I was trying to use more. Yeah, it's gonna be manipulation.
And probably persuasion. You sound like you're trying to persuade, whereas she is trying to tell you to fuck off with her eyes.
Oh shit.
And I rouse.
Okay.
Just so you know. My poor willpower.
Goodbye.
Bye will
oh, fuck.
power. Whoa, it's not that bad. It's just. Do I really want more? And I think I do.
Okay.
Yes. Nope. 3 successes.
Okay, so...
How many aggravated willpower?
You take... I'm going to say 3 points of aggravated... Not aggravated, 3 points of willpower.
Okay. Ouch.
Because she is effectively in charge of you at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So she gets some extra damage.
Mm-hmm.
Are you maintaining the argument?
No, I'm not.
Okay. You take your hand off her shoulder and you step back.
I mean, but people saw me. I tried.
So,
She demolished.
meanwhile, Velvet is like, yeah, you go, Sally. And Sally has turned her attention back. Now, in this first moment, when you interrupted Theodore, you note that neither Sir Holder or Sally seem to have broken their conflict. However, you will notice that Sir Holder has leant back fractionally in her chair. And she says, really, Sally, is this really necessary? And Sally says, yes, it is. And locks eyes with her. And after, there's a few moments. And then Sir Holder says, very well. Your judgment was correct. And that is why I concurred with it when I had seen the evidence. And Sally says, yes, but I was right, wasn't I? She says, yes, Sally. Now go. And Sally says, of course.
I'm already at the door.
And then turns and leaves.
Fucking crazy.
Theodore.
Yes.
Sally, technically, at the moment, is your lord, in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because she is a member of the Coterie that you were given by your sires into Sally's keeping to hold her up at your back. So for trying to talk against her, I would argue that you might get a stain. Are there any convictions that you have that you would use as a defence against that stain?
How... I see Sir Holder's position being higher than Sally's.
Yes, it is.
Disobedience is dishonor.
Yeah, okay. So we will allow you to weigh in that conviction.
Yeah, she was being disobedient to a superior. That's why I stepped in.
Which will allow us at some point soon to talk about our sexy new conviction rules. But anyway, you hold true to the idea that disobedience is dishonour, and also this was her domain, it was her place. She is the lord in her place. You believe that very strongly. And so although Sally was in charge, this was wrong, and you hold to that, and therefore the stain does not stick upon your soul. This time.
Thank you.
And you find yourselves back outside with Sally, who Sally looks in a great mood now.
I'm pleased for Sally.
And she says, well done. Now, I'll get you back into town, and then we'll get rid of the van. She'll drive you back pretty much to the petrol station where she left you. Get you out of the van. She says, I'll be in touch with your sires. And I'll see you soon.
Thanks for putting your trust in us tonight.
She says, oh, I had no doubt that you were going to live up to my expectations. None at all.
Good evening.
She says, my people will deal with the van. Don't worry about it. She walks off.
I'm this way going to hand over the numbers to Theodore. Numbers of those two. Should you wish to contact?
A copy, if you please.
Will do.
So you're getting on the phone,
Mm-hmm.
and
I'm done here.
who are you phoning?
Any of Isabel's chauffeurs to pick me up.
Okay.
Is this pick me up here?
Sorry, what was that? What was that, sir?
Can you hear me?
Bad line. Can you say it again?
I'm at this address. Can you hear me now?
I'm sorry. Sorry. Can you try calling back?
I'll text you the address. And text the address.
Okay, you text the address over.
Yep. And in the meantime,
I'm getting a cab. And if these guys want a cab, I will happily provide one.
Yep.
I can tell. Well, if you
I can provide a lift.
need a ride, I can
I'm
drop
going to
you
phone
off.
my secretary to get me a cab.
Well,
That's what I always do.
So Ventru.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Ventru. All right.
But
so
I can always- I can do
we
it.
can assume you guys can all get
I'll get a
yourselves
lift for
back.
Silas.
But I stop by. Is there any sort of like 24-hour shop? Because this is mostly like 3 in the morning. 1 in the morning or 2 in the morning.
It's getting on. Yes, that you can find a 24-hour shop. It's not easy, but you will find one, and you're on town.
Yeah, it's a 24-hour shop for. I was thinking, hopefully we have maple syrup, smoked bacon,
Yeah, you do a nice
Flour.
shop. Yeah, you pick up some nice bits and bobs,
cool,
and
eggs and stuff. Yeah.
and then you're going to head back.
I will stop off somewhere,
Yeah.
and I will buy some flowers for my wife for when I return.
Okay, you get some flowers for your wife.
I'm gonna ring
And
Barnaby.
okay. Yeah, the phone will pick up. Yeah.
Well, that was fucked.
Not. Let's talk in person, eh?
Before we do that, please just tell me your second name. They had this entire list of people that they would.
Jones.
Thank you.
Okay. So you are. Assumably, you're heading back to your
yeah.
respective
I think
homes.
I think what I was saying that Joe was getting what I was giving a lift to Joe.
Okay, so is there anything you want to say to Joe when it's just the two of you?
Just, I still have that knife of Theo's. I've never cleaned real blood of a knife before. Tips?
Bleach.
Right.
And lots of it. Assuming you don't have access to a gamma radiation cleaner. But
No. No,
I get a sterilizers.
No, I don't, funnily enough.
didn't think so. Yeah. It'll just be bleach then.
Yeah, just be please. Okay, thank you. Oh boy. That was something.
Not what I expected to be the first little job that we were given.
No. I don't expect me fixing something, to be honest.
Well, we fixed something.
You are not in that regard. Oh boy.
Okay.
She doesn't have anything else to say.
So I'm just going to touch on a few little things. So one is that, of course, when you get back, Velvet, are you going back to your house?
Yes. Is my wife asleep?
I'm just checking that out. She's kind of dozing on the couch.
And I stop off. I go to see my son first.
So you will note as you creep past your sleeping wife that she is not. She's wearing a different class of night attire than she had been for a while. and like she's done her makeup specially. She's looking good, but she's also now fallen asleep. But
okay,
that is the state.
I'll come back to
things. You make your way up the stairs to Freddie's room.
Yep.
And Freddie is also asleep. Are you trying to be quiet?
Yes, I just want to look at him.
Okay.
Remind myself of my life.
You creep in. He is on his bed. He is asleep. He looks quite angelic, really. Now he's asleep.
Now he's asleep. Yeah.
I mean, he's a fairly sweet kid anyway. But yeah, he's asleep. He looks like he hasn't got a care in the world. He looks super cute, super normal. You will notice something. on the side of his, he's got like a little desk.
Yep.
Very cute one with like a little mini chair that he can sit at. And on the desk is what looks like some kind of picture. You're not quite sure exactly what it is at a glance, but there is definitely a picture that looks new, and you will catch the word Daddy written on it. The Y is backwards.
Can I pick this up?
Yes, you can pick up the
Take
picture.
it with me.
Yeah.
I do that.
One last thing. What's your current hunger level?
It's 1.
Fine.
I will then go back downstairs and give the flowers to my wife, who will wake up in
Okay.
an appropriate way.
You wake her up and she's like, "Oh, what time is it?"
Oh, it's late. I'm sorry. I had a meeting that overran, and then I had a paper to prepare for tomorrow.
She
She
says, "Oh, for me, thank you."
I'm sorry. I know I've been working all the time.
I know you've been busy, and I have to say, I know that you want to come home as fast as you can. That means a lot to me.
I always do.
She looks at the picture you're carrying. She says, "Oh yes, Freddie was hoping to see you soon. He wants to go to the park again. He said he likes it when you take him to the park more than when I take him to the park."
Well, you know what? I'll do my best to clear out my schedule.
He'd really appreciate that. He's very excited about it. I said that you were busy, of course. Or maybe if you could just get home for an early dinner or something.
You know what? I'll call Francis and see what I can do. I'm really sorry. Yes, it's just been crazy.
Oh, I know. You must be so. Are you all right? You look like you've had a terrible evening.
Oh, it's yeah.
Come here. She'll give you a hug.
I lose myself in that whilst I feel terrible. like a terrible, terrible person.
Okay. And she'll take you. I believe. Did you activate Blush of Life earlier that evening?
Yes.
I believe you did.
Yep.
So yeah.
Oh, okay,
You will.
yeah.
You will. For those who are wondering, like, oh my God, she's hugging a corpse. No, she's hugging a corpse pretending to be alive.
Doing a very good job, thank you.
Yeah. So she'll hold you, and then she will kind of take you up to bed. Of course, there will come a point when she's fallen asleep again, where
Okay.
you'll have to creep out of bed
Yes.
and sneak off. Which, of course, you're quite practiced at these days.
I have a lot of early meetings.
Silas, when you get home, you will find there is a message on your landline.
Landline, what is this, 2001?
Yeah, I know. Crazy. Hello, Silas. It's only me. I was just calling to say that your father and I have a wonderful idea, and give us a call, and we can tell you all about it. Beep. There's a second message.
Yeah.
Love you.
That's cute.
Mumsy. Check what the time is.
Oh, it's like 2 a.m. or something now. Okay. You elect to call them tomorrow. You come back, Theo, and assumedly... Well, you tell me, what are you doing?
2 or 3 in the morning,
Yeah.
take off my suit. Well, first, see if Isabel is around.
Yes, she is around. Just happens to be around. Just in
Really?
the sitting room. Happens to be there when you get in. Reading.
Oh, brilliant.
Quietly. But, you get the sense disturbable should you have done something significant for the Coterie, and we should talk about it.
And, hey, Lady Isabel. Evening.
Good evening, Theodore.
Um,
Oh, why don't you take a seat?
thank you. Sit down. I checked that usual places didn't catch any blood.
Yeah, you're okay. It was a controlled environment.
Okay. I believe we had a most successful night. We met with Miss Herald, and she took us to Sir Holder, to the Gatekeeper. She had an assignment for us dealing some Dustborn, some Thinbloods. A trio of them staying in a house in Wattage? I forgot the name of the place. But it was a fairly simple, straightforward matter. 2 of them were branded. Turns out the 3rd one was already branded, so it was put for execution and made to be an example for the other. We dealt with the whole situation and we were done by roughly after midnight. But by 1 in the morning, we were already reporting to Sir Holder. And curiously enough, Miss Herrick had a little bit of an impasse.
An impasse.
Yeah, at the beginning of the night, she introduced us to Sir Holder and said, "These are the child of, the group, the Coterie, and they are ready." And of course, Sir Holder needed reassurance, so she put a test trial. Miss Herrick seemed to be a bit cross about being questioned on being right. So at the end of the night, when we got coins,
Excellent.
glad you approve. Well, this should be taken as a gesture that means she approves. Am I correct?
Yes.
Miss Herrick didn't see it that way. She needed Sir Holder to voice it specifically, as in you were right.
And what state is Miss Horrocks in now?
Probably happy. Sir Holder, I believe, not wanting to make a mess out of a successful night, decided to grant her that minor thing. Now, it didn't seem so minor for Sir Hurek. Something I should be aware of, your current coterie mate.
I'm glad to hear that Sir Holder's well-known cool head prevailed in such a situation. And you probably have seen all you need to know about my coterie mate. Suffice to say that she is very valuable to Oxfordshire. But like most things of value, there is some price to acquiring them. Is there anything else I should know, either about the events tonight or anything about your coterie? To be?
Yeah, definitely. About the events tonight, mostly transcendental. I believe I've covered everything that needs to be covered without going into the gruesome details. There were a couple of interesting things about my coterie.
Do tell.
Where to begin? Let's start in-house. Sir Riley. Mr. Riley doesn't seem to have the best of relationships with his sire.
Oh?
This is not something that has been voiced directly, and is not being made overtly evident to others, although it's not difficult to pick up. I do believe the relationship is either strained or based in direct dominance.
Do you feel that Sir Wallace should be appraised of this?
Not if I wish to have Sir Riley as a coterie mate.
Mr. Riley?
Sorry, Mr. Riley.
Hmm.
It does seem to be the type of relationship Mr. Riley needs to either get used to or complete. It seems to be in a transitional phase.
If you feel this is because Mr. Riley is confiding in you, then I would encourage that behaviour. If you feel that Mr. Riley is speaking ill of his sire to other kindred...
Oh no, has been very careful not to make any direct comments whatsoever. This is something that I've picked up in conversation.
Then...
Especially when I speak of you, since you have been the first point of centralized knowledge, so to speak.
Then I will leave it in your hands. But I will be interested to know any further developments on that front. And what of the other two?
Miss Doctor, not sure how to call her, Salt. She seems to struggle with being kindred or the type of things we need to do. She doesn't seem quite at ease doing what we need to do, but she did know that it needed to be done. She did know to tend the wounds of those who needed it and to try and reassure them, but never against our orders.
So you feel it is a relationship that can be developed appropriately?
I do believe she is of the nurturing type. And I do believe that she sincerely was put off by some of the attitudes. So yes, I think we see eye to eye in a couple of issues.
And Mr. Shaw?
I do not know if we see eye to eye on many issues. There were not many topics of conversation we shared. He seems capable, or at least adequate, with the knife. But he kept to himself. Again, not a shred of doubt that he followed orders and did what needed to do in order to give a good name to his clan, but it'll take time. He's more of an inscrutable character for the moment.
She gives you a slight smile and says, well, if there is one thing you will have an abundance of, it's time.
I'm afraid of it. There is the matter of this oath we're supposed to know and memorize.
Yes.
I would like to know it by heart.
I will make sure that that is the case. We have a little time before court.
Yes, when is court? It was mentioned that we should attend, but...
It's in 12 days' time.
12 days. Ooh. How long is that oath then? Let's get to it.
She smiles. And you move on.
Yeah.
Are you, assumedly, when you spend some time with Isabel, you're going to spend some time with Miyuki?
Yeah, I'm just waiting until it's something like... You said, well, what month was it?
So we're in October at the moment.
We're in October, so pretty much it's getting light at around 6.
Yeah, if not 7. So
if not 7.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna wait until like 4:30, have a shower, go into bed, kiss my way into bed with Miyuki at around 5 in the morning, and then.
So are you using Blush of Life?
Yes, I'm going to be Blush of Lifing, and going hungry on for my efforts. And then when she's awake, I will just put on a robe and bring her downstairs with me on a robe while I make her pancakes, bacon and maple syrup pancakes, because I know it's her favorite.
Yeah, she's always pleased when you bring her pancakes.
And it was a happy night.
She will say at one point when you present the breakfast, she says, "Has something happened, Ken-san? Something bad?"
Well, no, actually, something good.
Then she says, "Good." Then we eat, and then she and that is kind of that.
Yeah.
So, Joanne, you return back to your flat.
My neat and tidy flat.
Your neat and tidy flat. Your haven away from this horror. And is there anything that you are doing?
I think I said to Barnaby we'd talk later, so I'll over the next few days
Okay,
get in
so
here
we
and
will.
talk.
Excellent. So let's do an over the next few days. Because you've got about 12 days before the court. But if there's anything you want to be kind of doing over that 12-day period, and just give me a heads up now, and then I'll tell you how it runs.
Learning the oath.
So learning the oath.
And what is considered appropriate tribute? If we're going to be introduced to the prince, do we have to present tribute? And I explained to her the intricacies of gift given.
Sure.
From where I come from.
Sure. So I'll come back to you in a moment.
Learn what the fuck court is from Barnaby.
We'll definitely do that, yeah.
Again, memorise the oath.
Yeah.
Because, we'll just get destroyed on the spot.
Sure.
No, that's it.
Cool.
I assume
Yes.
that in this matter of going to court and knowing the oath, my sire will have to come to me. So I wait for that to happen because it's the only control over life that I have.
Okay, cool. So you're going to sit back and have fun.
Yeah.
Hell
And
yes.
Silas.
Yeah.
I'm going to, of course, next day call parents back.
Yes. Okay. Anything else that's on your agenda? Don't worry, there are things that will happen to you. I just want to know if there's anything you want to do.
Make sure knife is clean.
Yeah, sure.
And get it back to
consider that done.
sparkly.
No problem.
Sorry, go.
And also go to Finn.
Yeah.
Inform her.
Okay, hang on. We'll do Finn in a minute. So let's just briefly catch on what you were going to say.
Just the other thing that just occurred to me is at some point in that period of time, I will go to Freddie and wake him up in the night and tell him that we're going out for like a secret camping trip in the park or something.
Okay. Well, okay.
Do
So
that.
when you do that, he'll be like, "Really, Daddy?
You can't tell your mum.
I won't tell a soul, Daddy. It's between you and me."
Ah, that's cute.
You
With
take
the party,
okay.
Camping on a tent, some stories, then he falls asleep, you carry back home.
Yep.
He's happy.
Yeah, I mean, Freddie lasts.
Yes.
Freddie lasts for about 30 minutes.
Excellent.
So you
Dad of the
take-
year!
You take Freddie on a secret nighttime adventure.
Yep.
He loves it. That's a win.
That definitely wins.
So I'm gonna come back to you on Barnaby. I'll definitely do I should do your parents first. So you call them back. Hello.
Oh,
Oh, Silas.
Hey, Mum, how you doing?
Did you get our message?
Yes, I did.
Because I wasn't sure, because the machine made some funny noises in the middle.
The beep.
Well, you know how we've been asking you to come and visit?
Yes.
And I know that you've had a lot going on with work, we had this brilliant idea, you see, because we wanted to see you, and your father needs to get out of the house more. So there was this...
Do you mean out of the house or out of the garage?
Yes, I mean both of those things, actually. Yep. You know what he's like when he gets on a project. So anyway, he's very... You know, he likes to go to the Cowley car show in August.
Yep.
Well, I was thinking, rather than us just going, I wanted him to try and meet some people. So I persuaded him to try and get involved in organising it this year. So we're going to come to Cowley, and then when I realised, of course, that's where you live now. So we're going to come down and visit. It's not going to be for a while, probably in December. So then your father can make some new friends, and I can, we can all go out maybe and get some food or something. What do you think?
It'd
be the 9th of December. It's a Sunday. We were thinking maybe about 2:00. You know, maybe get a late lunch or something. It depends on the traffic.
My days are absolutely rammed.
Yes. Is there something? Is that a bad time?
In the evenings, I maybe I'll just swing something.
Well, I mean, we'll be there all day. I can't think they're going to talk all day. We could do them first if you want, and come to you later.
Yes.
Mate, we could have dinner. Well, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yes.
I bet you know some lovely restaurants in Oxford.
I
hear it's such a nice town.
Yes, it is. If you're interested, I might be able to swing you back stage pass, so you can have a look. And I'll have to.
Really?
Yeah, I know.
What, they let us on the set?
I mean...
Oh, goodness, great. Oh, all right.
It's unlikely, but I'll give it a go.
Oh, all right. Well, I won't tell your father then, but if you do, we can make it a surprise for him. Oh, you know he likes to see sets and all that kind of thing.
Yes. He loves how to see how it's all constructed and...
Oh, absolutely. All right, well, great. Well, it's in the diary, and I'll wait to hear from you.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, bye.
Oh, shit.
That is the appropriate emotional reaction, my friend.
Some of you had desires around doing a successful mission.
Yes.
Yep. You get a superficial willpower back.
Haven't spent any
mine is dependent on the outlook of others.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens in these next couple of scenes. All right. Let us do you briefly, Theo. I'm just thinking about in time order.
I think the only thing I am gonna be doing outside the normal day-to-day stuff, which is like learning the oath, getting the company running, and spending like knowledge about the court, basic stuff. The only thing outside of it is there anything that we should present as tribute, as proponents or petitioners?
So
and what are and if there is a prestation system, how does it work? What are the appropriate things for whom? How
sure.
Explain this little to me, and once I have that, I can take it with me and just downscale it to Thinbloods, and I know what is it that I need to do, and also what the guys need to do.
So you're not mentioning Thinbloods themselves. You're just asking in general to get.
In general, I want to know like all levels, because imagine that I am owed prestation or due that kind of thing.
What is your, let's say, subterfuge and manipulation pool? So halved to 2, cool. Okay, so yeah, she will give you that information, to which I will talk to you about in the kind of the in between this and the next session, so you can make appropriate calls. So I'm going to jump quickly back to you, because you will get a visit from Finn not long after, like the next night.
Yep.
And he's like, so he'll probably invite you out to his place.
Yep, and I will go.
For those of you who have been waiting for it.
And you'll come into the kind of sitting room, and he'll be like, so, how'd it go?
And I coin, catch it.
I knew you'd do it. Did the others get one as well?
Yes, and Velvet. Velvet was. I had to make it a little more deference before before he was given.
Oh, really? She made your Ventru friend grovel a bit before.
Yes.
Ah,
And
well.
I don't know that the guy who serves, who serves Sir Holden, but he's a prick.
He's all right. Okay. Well, I don't really know him.
Yeah.
I mean, she has a few people at server, of course.
Yeah, I described the one.
Okay. He thinks. He says, "Aye, that does sound familiar. Why is he a prick?"
He slammed the damn door right in my face before I got in.
Hang on.
Has this been something that is... Does this
a
have
lot of dice.
history?
He Actually, hang on. That was too many dice. Sorry, folks. I was giving Finn too many dice, and I apologise.
I think Chad will never ever hold.
No, they were like,
against
"No, he has all the dice. He has all
He's
the
fights and
dice."
everything.
Yeah.
There we go. That is a much more
I'm
appropriate
so
number
much
of
trouble,
dice.
aren't I?
Okay, you see a
as much trouble as
moment
me.
where his fists clench, and he says, "Shut the door in your face." What is he, a fucking ghoul? Or a fucking kine in your face? Did anyone see it?
I think that most of them were facing away, but
I don't know his name, but I think I know who it is. I'll rip his fucking head off. I'll fuck him up. I will fuck him up.
and
Right.
more.
Okay, no, I think I know the one.
Yeah.
I will fuck him up.
It's not gonna
Please
be a
do.
happy night for him.
In more information, the question that you previously asked me about another coaching mate.
Sorry, what? I was away.
Yeah.
I was thinking of something else. What did you say?
Well, you mentioned about Barnaby's child, Joanne.
Oh, yeah.
She apparently does still practice, which I'm.
She's still cutting people up for a living in front of
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah. How the hell she hasn't lost control and broken the masquerade?
You know, I'm going to be asking myself that question about myself. How the hell have I not lost control and ripped off Barnaby's fucking head? I'm going to ask myself that right now. Excuse me.
Back the fuck up! Back the fuck up!
You will be aware at some point over this time passes, Theo, that there is... Isabel gets a phone call and you know it's from Finn because I hear him shouting. And then she says that she has to go out.
Shouting in Scottish, she needs to go out. I'll take it as a break if it's early in the
Yeah.
evening. I sit down with Miyuki and maybe spontaneously like put some Perry Como or Sinatra and
Yeah.
dance a little swing.
You have a
with her.
nice bit of swing dancing.
Yeah.
It's a chill night.
We have such different lives.
It's like, oh, my sire left for the night, and it's like 2 a.m. Let's dance.
So at some point, Joanne, there will be a knock on the door. It'll be quite late. It'll be like 1 a.m.
It's that sort of time he usually just decides to potter around.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, no. Let's do it another way around. You come home
Yep.
to your flat,
It's already there.
and when you come home to your flat, you find he's already there. You will notice that he's sitting with his back to you in the doorway on the floor, and you've got like a medical dummy. All of the different component bits of the dummy have been taken out and laid out on the floor in quite intricate patterns. And he's kind of sitting amongst them all, looking at them.
Hello?
He looks even more slumped and shriveled than normal. There is something odd about the way he's holding his right arm.
Are you alright?
Says, the answer to that question is always no.
Why did I expect any different?
So come in and sit down, eh?
Shut the door, sit down on the sofa and just...
So seems like you'll be meeting the prince soon.
Yes, I got the... coin. Symbol.
Wankery. I know. There's something I should probably have told you.
Really?
Yeah. He's not turned around or anything. He's just sort of talking to the floor. He says, "You're." So I told you my second name, but that's probably not enough for these people. My name isn't enough for these people, so you should know that you are, well, obviously you're my child, and that your grandchild is Alistair Tamsin Burke.
Grandsire.
Yeah. What Theo said. He says, Alistair's sire.
I've actively gotten a notebook and I'm like,
Yeah.
just giving him that look of, you should have fucking told me this earlier.
Says, I hope you're writing that down in code for your sake.
You've seen my handwriting? You think they could read it anyway?
He shrugs, he says, touche.
Unless someone from like a pharmaceutical or whatever, like the only people who can read the doctor's handwriting.
He says,
People from the drugstore.
your grandsire, by the way, my sire, is in chains. You should know that. His sire, your great-grandsire, is Madeline Croft. She isn't around anymore. The Prince and the Scourge saw to that. And Madeline Croft's sire is Sir Thomas de la Moor. He's not around anymore. I don't know quite what happened, but I can tell you that when he went, the Prince came back, but he didn't. So you'll understand if I don't want to talk about these people very much. It seems like usual, what I want doesn't matter, and the Prince will expect you to know your lineage, but
I won't probe.
I wouldn't say those names. Don't say Sir Thomas's name in front of the Prince.
I won't probe you, but I know now, so I'll leave it to you, Alistair and Madeline Croft.
Yeah. That's for the best. So, apparently I haven't answered enough of your questions, so if you have any questions,
What
And
the
you-
fuck is court? It sounds like a big deal.
Yeah, it's like a giant dick waving contest.
I'm gonna write down giant dick waving contest.
This is basically all of the kindred in Oxfordshire, plus any guests.
Is he going to be there?
Who's he? Like, there are lots of people you could have that reaction to. You're going to have to be more specific.
The one who put me in this position in the first place?
Oh, him. No, he won't be there. You don't have to worry about him.
Okay.
Do you have some kind of revenge thing?
I just want him to know how I feel about being put into this situation that I didn't choose.
Well, I tell you what. I might need a favour from you. In dick waving land, they call it a boon. In exchange for you helping me out with something, I'll give you the chance to say what you want to say. Okay?
All right.
Deal?
Deal.
All right.
Despite me not choosing this path, you have helped me along it, so I am grateful to a point.
Yeah.
So I'll help you out.
Good. It won't be a big deal. Telling that prick what you feel isn't a big deal either. If it makes you feel any better, they're actually worse off than you are right now.
Good.
Is there anything else? Great. I'm glad we've done this. So if you can tell next time you see them, the others, that I was great, that'd be a great weight off my
What
back.
would I give in tribute?
What? To who? The
To
prince?
the prince.
Well, I mean, you don't have anything that... I mean, he's like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years old and has more money, power, and people than you can imagine. So unless you've got, like, a really rare Pokemon, then I suggest... then I suggest you offer him your loyalty. And, I don't know. Look... Before you meet the prince, you're going to get a chance to speak to my sire. It's like a tradition or something. Like a kind of sending off thing in case you fuck up with the prince. So he might have some ideas. You can ask him.
But he's in chains. Will that be allowed?
Oh, yeah, it's fine because he lives in court now. So, yeah. Yeah, some people have it
What a
worse than
punishment.
us, believe it or not. But we'll get some time with him because even though he's not exactly popular, there are traditions and everyone loves traditions here. Everyone.
Yes, it seems this new society is rooted in the past.
He says, yeah, well, the problem is most of the people running it are from the past.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problems. So,
You're welcome to stay the night if you want.
oh, great. I'm glad you said that. I was planning on
He did not see your generosity come.
So he will go and make himself comfortable. And we're very nearly going to finish, but there is one more thing I want to touch on, which is that some time passes and you do your learning and your studying and your preparation. You will all get wind that the court is approaching, and you'll be told by your sires that the tradition that Barnaby mentioned will also be true of all of you, that you will get to spend some time with your sires and your bloodlines and things before you meet the prince, like a last chance to
Also, sire, and if their sire and sire,
Yeah,
like,
so anyone
however
who-
many,
yeah.
anyone in your line,
who is in Oxfordshire
and of course,
will be there
Cool.
to be a little ceremony before you go off. I know it's going to be the best. And
family reunion.
you're all obviously getting
shit.
ready in your various ways for that when the night dawns. And of course, you will all be, your sires will have made sure that you're not hungry when that night comes. Yeah. But I just want to mention one last thing before we stop. And that is that Theodore, when you are getting ready, and you've obviously picked out a suit especially, and Miyuki will be helping you, and you are checking that your tie, that everything is perfect. When you look at yourself in the mirror, it is not you that is looking back. And that's where we're going to stop. So,
Oh my god, what?
so thank you very much for listening
fucking
and
native.
watching. And
Malking in disguise.
we should hopefully see you all next week. If any of you would like to send any fan art to us of any SPCs that don't yet have representation in the relationship map, then you can have your art representing them on the relationship map, and that will be awesome.
Oh yeah.
So again, go to the website and you will find in our ShrekNet archives
Yes.
the link embedded to the relationship map. And yes, there's where you can see, Finn as fun arted by Manuk.
And the Coterie by Cricket.
And Mitch will probably put the link in the Discord as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Indeed. Mitch will put it in the Discord. And if you're watching this going, what Discord?
Join the Discord.
Join our Discord.
And
See
yes,
us for
Mitch, I'm
details.
directly pressuring you to do this.
Join the Discord.
And yeah, thank you very much. And those of you watching live, you've just got time to send kisses in Dilly's direction. Otherwise,
Thanks again to Manuk and Angarad for being our patrons.
and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. If you'd like to keep up with everything we're doing, follow us on Twitter and Facebook. And you know, if you want to join us live, right, where it's more fun, be sure to tune in every Monday at 7 PM on Twitch. Or you can catch up on YouTube or the podcast. And a big hug to all our supporters on Patreon and all of you beautiful